But other than that, there we go.
We're live already. It don't matter.
The people can know. The people can know.
The people can know. And now I got to fix my settings again because of everything I had to do. But welcome, everybody. Welcome, world. How's everyone? Did you guys have the panel today?
Yeah, we did the panel. We
Oh, yeah.
spoke about generational players, who's generational and who's not generational. Um,
Whoa.
oh, camera. Oh my God. Oh, Dub guys in the chat. Oh, Dub in the chat. What is this?
I am fixing
Oh, Dub.
my. I am fixing some issues that I need to
W
do.
promo though. W promo, Dub. W promo. W
That is so
logo.
disgusting.
There
That
we
is
go.
so
W
disgusting.
promo. Mars Talk Sports on YouTube. Trying to get to 5K subscribers. I don't know how far I am away from 5K subscribers, but if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. While Dub is trying to fix whatever he has going on, I have no idea about the title. Dub comes up with all the titles. I just show up.
I hate this kid. I hate this guy. I hate this
Yeah,
guy.
Dub, go ahead and explain the title.
See, that's got some more coloration. I don't look like I'm a ghost, so I had to fix that up a little bit. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, so there's been trade rumors with the Orlando Magic and OG Anunoby, and just talks about him going to Orlando. And I am curious to see what is the timetable looking like for the Orlando Magic if OG is sent there. Seems as if I think they'll try their best to keep Franz, Paolo, and OG together. So what is this team going to look like, and if they're able to work that deal out, right? Because there's no like names that they're giving where Orlando's going to be giving up. I'm assuming that Franz and Paolo will be off the table, and they'll probably get rid of like Cole Anthony or like whoever else they have down there. But hey, we'll have to see, bro. So what do you guys feel about this?
Are you genuinely interested in Orlando OG Anunoby, or are you just having to talk about it because it's the title? Be honest.
No, I actually I came up with it. I thought it was very interesting because I am curious of what that team will look like next season with OG. I think that's a good piece for them. I think that helps them for what they're trying to build, and him being a role player around guys like Paolo, Fultz is still there in France. I like it. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I do
I don't
like it.
think OG doesn't want to be a role player. Hasn't that been like the biggest issue? He wants a larger role, even though he's not worthy of it.
He better stop. He
Hey,
better
some some
stop.
some some people think they're not role players. Some people think that they're destined for something more, even though his self-creation is terrible. He turns the ball over at an alarming rate when he does try and create for himself. He's not a very good passer, but it doesn't matter. He wants a larger role, so
Well,
I don't know if
maybe
Orlando the answer when he's just going to be behind Paolo and Franz and I don't know, maybe Markel, whoever. Like,
sometimes people just gotta understand the talent they have, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like a lot of people just don't know. Like y'all don't know what y'all like. Sometimes y'all just not like that, bro.
self-awareness isn't a huge trait of athletes. That's
I
one
know.
thing that is they're not very self-aware. Most of them do tend to think they are better than they are. And I think that's part of the game. Like you don't make it to that level without a certain level of confidence. But for some people who might think that they're better than they are, maybe he saw Mikal Bridges in a larger role and thinks I could do the same thing. Maybe that's what his mindset is. So I don't think
Man.
Orlando is really the answer. Oh, we have Cho in the chat. Hello, Cho.
Yo, we'll have to see. Let's read off some super chat. Rank these players all time: CP3, Kawhi, and Giannis. Let's
Go
see.
ahead, Dub.
Uh, probably CP3, Giannis, Kawhi, or Giannis, CP3, Kawhi. Either way, Kawhi's getting cut. I'm debating in my head between Giannis and CP3. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Giannis has a ring, Finals MVP, two
Shut
MVPs,
up.
Defensive Player of the Year,
Shut up. I think Giannis is peak.
beat Chris Paul in the finals.
Shut up.
Okay.
I think Giannis gets a slight edge because of his peak. So I'll give it to Giannis.
Oh, that's changed recently. Before you had Chris Paul over Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis is just so much better than CP3 though. So it's like I got
So Giannis is in your top 15 now.
yeah.
We need to hit a new updated top 15 from you. This is interesting.
Giannis is in my top 20, bro. Easy.
Where's Jokic?
Jokic literally only has 3 years playing at this level. Jokic is like in my like top 30, top 40
Is
passes,
he above
maybe.
Kawhi?
Nah, he can't be above Kawhi yet. Not yet.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, Kawhi's gone. I'll probably go Giannis, Chris Paul, Kawhi, because Chris Paul postseason. Oh, Giannis's postseason injuries. They're all just dealing with postseason injuries.
I know. It's like this is hard. I mean, just go with the popular answer. Start Giannis because Kawhi being cut is already unpopular.
I'm gonna be honest. Do this for the TikTok. If they say I'm wrong, they're hating. I'm start Giannis, bench Kawhi, cut Chris Paul.
That's disgusting. You're disgusting.
If TikTok has a problem with that, I don't know what to say.
They're not. They're not. I'm going to get the burner.
There we go.
Wow. I was hoping I could have somebody there with me. I got a serious question. Me personally, he's my fave player, but everyone else seems to hate him. Why do people hate CP3? I need honest answers from everyone.
Because they think he chokes in the playoffs. And he's a dirty player, which is a very valid reason to hate someone.
I think it comes from the fact he is a dirty player. And that after that Rondo incident, it's like the narrative of CP3 like went left because everyone used to like CP3. Like they did. They were messing with him a lot. But as soon as that Rondo narrative happened and then all these things talked about with his teammates and everything shifted literally immediately. So the Rondo incident really shed some light on who CP3 was because he is a dirty player. I'm not going to hold you. He does have some character issues, but I love CP3, so I have nothing to say.
Karl Malone loves CP2.
Wow. Mars called you a role player, by the way. Personally, if he said, wait. A role player in what? Mars. I'm not letting anyone up until Mars says something.
L-Dub for not trying to let people up. L-Dub.
Spam my L Mars in the chat because I need an explanation.
Explanation of what?
What did you mean by role player?
I don't know what this guy's talking about. Alan's making stuff up. I don't know what he's talking about. But Alan's trying to be an instigator. Alan. You can bring people up now.
Alan, send me the timestamp of when he said
Oh this. My God. We got snitches in the PC community. That's crazy.
Alan, you're in the panel group chat. Send me the
that's
timestamp.
Crazy. Look at Chill in the chat snitching. Oh my God. We got Chill the snitch.
That's crazy.
Chill is snitching. Crazy. That's crazy.
I'm Lamar Odom. Lamar was dope, though. I like Lamar.
Exactly, dog. Nothing wrong with Lamar Odom, right? There you go.
I actually like Lamar Odom, but you could have gave me Pal.
Nah, you definitely want Pal. Lamar Odom.
I'll set the table for you, Mars, for you to be successful. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, Power is cool because nothing without Kobe, no playoff.
Whoa! That's not true.
Power's cool. Power's cool. I can see Power.
Whoa. We gotta mute him right there. We're not doing that. No, we're not.
I gave you Power.
No. We're not pal anymore. I'm not pal anymore. That's disgusting, Mars. Disgusting.
I gave you what you wanted.
And you said 07 Lamar? Not wow.
Oh yeah, I said Lamar when Kobe was just on a one-man team. So Lamar was the second best player, but everyone knew it was just Kobe by himself, really.
Yeah. So you call me a crackhead?
I didn't say all that. But if the shoe fits, I mean the shoe fits.
That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. I can't wait to do another debate with you.
Another?
Yeah.
Where was the first?
That came in court. But that one I knew I was gonna lose regardless because the chat.
Is that the one where you just started? Is that the one where you just started laughing?
Yeah, because I was like, bro, they're gonna vote. I was like, they're gonna vote for Mars no matter what. So I said, fuck it, I'm not even doing it. Nah. That debate right there, I'm like, they gonna win. We'll do it. Hey guys. you doing, friends? I wanted, third time. What? Hello.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, man?
What's going on with you, bro?
Talk about me?
Yeah, man. What's up?
Hey, man, you know, I'm at the crib chilling. I can't mess my hair up. So, you know, I got
Word. I had to address that immediately. I'm not even going to lie.
You got his hair, man. I got to take the phone, man. Take the phone.
I'm on PC trying to make an impression, man. Let me live.
Look like you wearing a chef hat, man.
Second by default is crazy, Mars.
Look like I'm ready to cook or something.
Hey, I just got a question for Dub and Mars real quick. If OG played into his role as like a 3-and-D, where do y'all think? Do y'all think he'd be like one of the best or like the best or like
what do you
as
mean,
a 3-and-D? As a 3-and-D, I'm just asking because I don't think he would be, but I'm asking y'all.
One of the best what?
3-and-D guys, if he just played into his role that he's supposed to.
He's already one of the best.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like where would you like, but who's better than him?
Mikal Bridges. Well,
Mikal not so much of a 3-and-D guy.
Yeah,
not
anymore.
He was though. He was better, but
Bridges is a solid player.
Yeah.
I can't name too many guys who's better than him at 3-and-D. Pause.
Tatum.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to come up with names.
Tatum's more of a star player role because Tatum is like I always put Tatum up there.
But Tatum is a 3-and-D, but he can shoot, he can defend.
And be 3-and-D? Like is that?
I mean, true. But when he said as a role, so he's talking about P5.
He's talking about a role player.
More
role player. Role player.
Because I think OG.
I don't really consider OG Anunoby really a role player. OG Anunoby is much better than a role player.
He decided to play as a role player. It's just like I think the Raptors have him on ball too much, really sometimes. But you know, it is what it is.
Well, he just needs to go into. Well, he's already like.
Yeah, he already is one of the best, but he's on ball too much for my liking. I think that's another reason why the Raptors were really bad offensively last year.
And y'all know what his contract is? Like,
next
if I'm
year,
Dallas,
he has a player option after this year.
You think it's possible for Dallas to get him, or they don't have enough money or enough assets to trade for him?
Raptors are asking for a lot for OG Dev. Like they're asking for a lot.
Okay.
I think Dallas is in a very good spot right now.
Yeah. And there's reports.
If any moves happen, it'll probably have to be like, okay, we're in the middle of the season. This isn't looking how we wanted to look. Now let's make moves. But right now, I think
if I'm Dallas, I just want one more.
He would be nice to OG Dallas, though. He'd be good on the wings. He'd be a good help defender. They need on the wings, so.
Ooh, I think Sacramento could be a good spot for OG, but
that's a good point too. They lack defense too. That was one of their biggest problems last year. Was lack of defense last year.
They have young guys that could possibly give up, but it's like who would they want to give up for OG? Because I don't think they want to move off of Keegan Murray.
Davion Mitchell.
We would want back Davion.
But then I mean, you're just in this like.
Raptors are trying to rebuild. If we're trading OG and
I think Keegan Murray got to give him a chance. He's still very young still, though. He's still
young.
Yeah, but like if you want OG, you gotta give up something.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Raptors.
So probably Davion, and maybe like Kevin Huerter or some shit.
And maybe maybe the Raptors would try to get a pick out of him too.
And some assets.
Because
you're not giving because Sacramento's not giving up Keegan Murray.
No, they're not giving up Keegan.
Because De'Aaron, I would like De'Aaron.
Isn't OG Anunoby better than Keegan Murray?
He'd be good to fit in Atlanta though, too. Though,
but I think the
King is. I think Keegan Murray. I think Keegan Murray likes his upside. I think Sacramento likes Keegan upside a little bit because he's a second-year player and his offense. He's already one of the best three-point shooters in the league. So I think he gives you better offense versus like even though OG gives you better defense. I think Keegan just fits better to that Sacramento team offensively wise.
Interesting.
It's the potential of Keegan. That's what they want to bank on to try to keep him. And I would like De'Aaron, Sabonis, and OG together. I would love that.
Yeah,
they're still gonna lose though.
That's crazy.
I think that's
a fun team to watch.
I think they get past the first round though. I'll say that.
I think they'll get past this year.
If Sabonis, it depends on if Sabonis is going to.
They almost knocked out the Warriors, also.
Yeah, that's a good
It depends on the matchup as well.
The Warriors suck this year, man. That's
honestly, I'm not high on them. I'm really not high on them.
They pushed this game though with the bad team and the terrible road team.
What'd you say? What'd you say? Third option?
Yeah, CP3, your guy. What you mean?
Oh, he's gone. He's on the.
He's done.
He's on the Kawhi knees right now.
The Warriors need to cut him. That's what they need to do.
I'm not high on the Warriors at all. Like other than Steph Curry, I just don't like Steph and Draymond. I'm not high on everybody else on the Warriors really.
Because like the Warriors,
I like the Warriors right now either.
What they can do, the reason they
I
made
like their bench.
the reason they made the CP3 trade was to save money. They can just cut Chris Paul if they don't do what they want him to do because he's on a non-guaranteed
boy.
contract. Because he's on a non-guaranteed contract, so they can just cut him with no consequence, basically.
I don't think they cut Chris. I don't think they cut Chris Paul.
What's good, Chill?
I think they should, but you know.
I mean, I think there's something that we're not addressing. There's a reason why he wants to get traded. Why does he want to get traded?
He wants
because he wants a bigger role.
So if he's going to go to Sacramento, you want him on Sacramento with a bigger role? Like with him handling the basketball in Toronto, in the words of Mars, he's basically a turnover machine. He takes a lot of bad shots. So now you want to get him on a better team in Sacramento and have him doing more?
I said if he can actually like settle into a role that he's meant to play in this league, then I would love him on Sacramento. But if he's not going to do that, a 3-and-D guy, guy that's off the ball, a 3-and-D guy.
That's what he is in That's what he is in Toronto. He's a 3-and-D.
No. The Raptors have him on the ball much more than they should in Toronto.
But he's not happy with that. He still wants more than that. And you're saying
he wants a bigger role.
So Chill. I'll answer your question, right? The thing is like when you're in, so the thing with Toronto where, you know, and you could attest to this, like being like bought into something and what a team is going on is crucial. And especially on Toronto, I'm going to have to mute you, Dev, because too many things in the background. Especially on Toronto, they didn't really have watching them all season long, I didn't see a goal for them, right? It just seemed as if they were just out there and nobody was really bought in. So I think it could change if he's going to Sacramento because now he's on a winning scenario, winning team, and that could help the overall content of OG and him having more of a willingness to play a role in Sacramento. So that's why I think,
Which is fair, but here's the difference though, Dub. The difference with that is we're going this season, the 23-24 season, we're going into year 7. We've probably seen who this guy is.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure in terms of his game, how much it's going to change. Like he's not going to automatically turn into a knockdown off the dribble mid-range shooter. I don't think he's going to turn into that going to Sacramento, right? I don't know if he's going to turn into an awesome one-on-one player or an awesome offensive player. What you've seen from OG Anunoby at this point is probably who he is. Now, like I'm not on the fence when I say this. You know, I believe that, you know, when you have by year 5, this is probably who a guy is. You're probably going to get better seasons, but I mean, in terms of them building around him, I mean, he probably is who he is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think he was like kind of forced to play that little more ball handling role in Toronto
third option, sure on team,
because they have a lack of guards and like
Okay, let's kill a lack of guards logic because Fred VanVleet was there and Scotty Barnes was there, so they had ball handlers. It wasn't like he was the only ball handler there. They had ball handlers there, so that wasn't the problem. Plus, he's been there 6 years. I mean, if my role hasn't been established in 6 seasons, what am I doing here?
They never believed in him because he didn't. In all honesty, though, OG never had the talent like that. Like this is probably his best, one of his best seasons that just happened. So it was like my whole thing is for OG is like, how you gonna be asking for more when number one, what Chilltown said, for the whole 7 years you didn't even show tons of potential to be that guy. It's like after your best season, you're trying to pick on a bigger role after 7 years. It's like that's weird to me.
All right, no. What it stems from is in 2021, the year after Toronto was in Tampa, Siakam was hurt to start that year, and they relied heavily on guys like Fred VanVleet and OG and the rookie Barnes to really try and carry the offense until he got back. And in that stretch of time, OG was like a 20-point per game scorer. It wasn't great by any means, but OG got the bigger role, and he was scoring 20. And I think from that point on, he just felt like he deserved a bigger role. And that's why him and Siakam never really fit together this year because they were kind of clashing offensively at each other because and yeah, OG, I love OG, but I don't think he's ever going to be the guy to be a main ball handler, be a guy that's going to be on the ball scoring for you, especially in the playoffs. If OG was like trying to do that in the playoffs, but he needs to settle into a 3-and-D role.
So you think
how's OG in Cleveland sound?
I like OG.
I love him in Cleveland.
That'd be great.
Small forward, that's like
he could be good in Miami too, though. Miami lacks size, though. That's one thing they killed Miami in the playoffs and the finals. They had no size down below.
I just think OG is one of those players. I just think OG is one of those players that with his defense, he's valuable to every team in the league.
I have a question. do you like OG bet over Michael Porter Jr. in Denver, or do you keep MP, or you like MPJ as there?
No.
I keep MPJ as a better shooter.
Why not? Wait.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not, Chill?
Because he doesn't fit that role. Like they got KCP. They have Aaron Gordon. They need a guy who stretches the defense, and OG doesn't do that. That's what Michael Porter Jr. does.
Yeah, that's fair.
OG can space the floor, just not to the point, not to the MPG level. I can get with that though.
Borja just has more range.
I feel like we keep on naming scenarios where he's gonna be in the same spot he's in now. Like it is, I don't know. Like even though
that's why I don't believe him when he. That's why I don't believe him like that when he says, "Oh yeah, I want a bigger role." Because in my head is like, I think he's just saying that out of like not being happy in his scenario. So when guys are not happy in their scenario, they just say whatever sometimes. Like it is.
But Dub, we're thinking about it from he wants a bigger role and to win. It could be a Jeremy Grant situation where he goes to Detroit where he knows he ain't about to win, but he has a bigger role. What if he just says, "Oh, you know what? I want to go to the Utah Jazz where I'm gonna have a bigger role and we're gonna win 12 games." Like maybe he just doesn't care about winning.
Because there's not that many.
Possibly could.
He does already have a championship.
Yeah, he already has a ring, even though he didn't play.
Yeah, because there's not that many teams he can go to with that big role.
Yeah.
Like if he gets traded to a contender or like a playoff level team, he's not gonna be like the best player. So there's not that many teams he can go to with that bigger role and get a lot of wins. The only teams he can probably go to when he's like a main guy is like what Mar said, Utah. Not even Orlando, maybe because they build around Paulo. Not even Houston because they build around Jalen Green and Amen. So it's like there's really not that many teams. If you think about it.
Who is okay, we're going into year 7 this year. If you had to say right now, Dub, who is OG Anunoby? What is he?
So honest opinion.
Who is this dude?
I'll say OG's a 3-and-D guy. I think he could be valuable piece to like giving role player minutes to like a championship crew, but he's not a guy that you're going to be building around. And he was a late bloomer, right? The first 3 years of his career, he wasn't getting PT like that. He wasn't playing like that. He just wasn't the same guy he is now. So I think he was just a late bloomer. In these last 3 seasons, he's been on a tear. But this is just who he is. And if he don't analyze and recognize that.
So, Dub, are you telling me he's a 16 to 18 a game guy that in about maybe 5 or 6 rebounds?
Yeah.
So basically he's a better version of Dylan Brooks. That's who he is.
For sure.
Better, the version of Dylan Brooks. Yes.
We're saying better a bit too easily right now. Like
we're low key sleeping on Dylan.
You want to know why it's easy, Morris? Because this man can hit open threes on my SGP to sit here and give me to win me some money, bro. This man Dylan Brooks is breaking wide open threes left and right, and then on top of breaking wide open threes left and right, the dude playing like he's like one of those guys. Like, yo, chill. I don't know if you know this, but
the
hate right now is crazy.
Dylan Brooks was out there like he a top 20 player. Like
word.
I just couldn't believe he was made a lot of that pay that dude. Seriously,
chill out, man. You're not that nice. Chill out, yo.
Thanks, bro. I hated watching this sometimes, bro.
But OG is trying to be the same guy. He's trying to be this,
but he's not nearly as bad though.
But he's better.
Yeah, he's better.
Hey, Jill, I have a question for you. Why do you think Nick Nurse
last question? I gotta rotate the guest.
Yeah, I said, why do you think what do you think the Raptors' struggle was last year, and how why Nick Nurse got fired and how he lost the locker room? That's my last question for you.
Can I answer this too, please?
I just think that his voice was. They just got tired of him. I think that's what it is. If you notice, like some of the great coaches of all time, like they're not at stops for a long period of time because that especially when you're dealing with adults. I mean, that voice kind of gets worn out, and you keep hearing the same thing over and over again. After a while, it kind of gets corny, and guys want to grow, guys want to be better. And a guy like Nick Nurse, who is, one of those, he's kind of like from the Thibodeau, from that cloth where it's all go, and constantly pounding and yelling at you. I mean, that gets kind of corny after a while. So yeah. I think it wore thin in Toronto. That doesn't mean he's a bad coach because I think it's going to work in Philadelphia. I just think that it wore thin in Toronto.
Got you.
So,
Got you.
All right, y'all. I ain't gonna hold up
Fellas.
too much more of your time.
It's
Dub.
just he lost Siakam when he and Siakam got into like a yelling match after.
And Mars and Dub, y'all are so nasty at Among Us.
Oh, we can't talk about that.
When he and
hold
Why
up,
can't we talk about that?
Okay, go ahead, talk about it.
I was cooking. What are we talking about?
Because Dub,
You
you
want to
told me.
talk about
Yeah, Dub's cooked.
Because Dub, it wasn't my fault. Because Mars turned to shapeshift into P5, and that's what confused me.
Chilltown.
Because I was cooking.
Chilltown. Do you play games?
We need to get Chilltown Among Us.
Hold on. Chilltown. Do you play games?
Video games?
Yeah.
I don't, unfortunately. No.
There's a game that has to deal with lying and deceiving. So would you be interested in playing that at all?
I'm pretty familiar with liars and deceivers, so I'm good. Yeah. What you got?
Okay. So I'll message you. Unless you want to stay for longer, it's up to you. But we could set this up where you could play this game called Among Us and see if we could pick out the liars amongst the crew. So
so who fronting and who being honest?
Yeah. So the quick synopsis of it goes like this. Let's say if we're all we got characters in the room and it's us 7 up here, right?
Yeah.
And we're all of us are trying to work together to complete all these tasks so that we can escape a room.
Mm-hmm.
But there's 2 people in the room. So let's say me and Mars are those 2 people that's trying to kill everybody without you guys knowing that we're the murderers. Kind of like those board games like mystery murder mystery.
Blue.
Gotta find out who mole it.
Yeah.
That's one of those games. But yeah,
how do you get involved in these games? I used to play Among Us during the pandemic. How do you get involved in this? What's going on?
We'll let y'all know, bro. But chill. So you're down for that?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down.
Fire. We'll definitely set this up.
Overall,
It's gonna be so nasty.
Hey, but Dev, overall, like he just when he lost Siakam, he benched Siakam in a game against the Nets a couple of years ago, and since then, he's lost the locker room. The players just weren't really that inspired to play defense anymore. At certain points of the season, they weren't really listening to him on the sideline. And it was a lot of just kind of the players doing whatever they wanted on offense, and he just lost the room.
All right, fellas, appreciate y'all time, bro. Y'all be easy, all right? Salute. You can go get these boys. Was PG-13 ever?
By the way,
You said what?
you're trash at Among Us, by the way.
Mars,
You can read the super chat.
Wait, I picked you. I was on to your games, Mars, the whole time.
On to me.
What do you talk? You're gonna lie? You can pull the tape up.
You did what JD did. You took a shot in the dark, and it happened to be me. But you didn't. The reasons you had for it being me were inaccurate. So you weren't really smart.
Mars, because you gotta listen to what I said. I read people. Like I tell you this.
This is why I can't take you serious, Dub. This is why I can't take you.
But
serious.
I was so chill. No, chill. We're doing this. See, this is why I say like you're a bookworm. So salute to you being a bookworm. It's just certain things and certain attitudes and just things that people say that you could just pick up that you can't teach that you could pick up on and just their attitudes and aura and that you could be like, nah, something's up. That whole time when you was imposter Mars, you was being not uncharacteristic. And I was like, nah, this man Mars is tripping. And then you snitched on yourself about the P5 incident. So it's just certain key components like that.
Myself.
Did he sniff you out, Mars? Sound like he sniffed you out, Mars.
If he sniffed me out, how come I still won the game, Chill?
Because they didn't believe me.
Yeah,
they didn't believe me.
That part I did not know.
So he won, but then the very next one, me, Zay, and this other dude ran the floor with everybody. It was so easy. But Mars,
Dub, I knew it was you that round. I was voting for you every single round.
Yeah, but you voted JD out, and you was caping for him hard, and he was innocent. I framed him.
Once I knew it wasn't JD, I was like, okay, so it's Dub. I figured out I was just voting for you every other round.
And nasty word.
No one else decided to jump on the train, so you won.
See, hey, Vamp knows what's up. Vamp knows what's up.
Dub is not good. I had everyone in the palm of my hands when I was imposter. Like, I was just.
It was disgusting.
Like fizzle. Like, that's
not chill. If you seen how much like these people just listen to whatever Mars says that match, I was disgusted. I was disgusted. Terrible.
I was
terrible.
Just that's what it was.
See, let's get these guys up here, man. What's good?
What's up, y'all?
Yo, salute everybody.
Well, salute everybody.
Yo, chill. Let me just ask you this real quick, and I'll hop back off. Yo, is this Sunday good? Good for the debate or what?
Yeah, I'll be around Sunday.
I bet. So I'm gonna try to let you know the time for Philly Phil tonight. All right.
This Sunday. Whoa. This Sunday. No. Sorry. Damn. Sorry. Not this Sunday.
All right.
Nope. Can't do it this Sunday.
All right, bet. We're going to have to do it like in a few weeks, man. Because I know you just said
figure it out, though.
weekend.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But not like we'll figure it out. But thanks for letting me up, dog. Yo, y'all get them lights up, yo. We lighting the lights. Hit them lights.
Thanks for the support. Do you have anything to get off? You're more than welcome to Ace 30.
No, I'm busy at the moment. I just try to get that off real quick. But but yeah, like y'all get them lights up. Go look.
Yeah, word. Get the likes on, man. Get the likes on.
Man, what you guys got to talk about? It's not a lot. Look, sick invite to Among Us from Alan.
There we go.
And then was PG-13 ever top 3?
Nope.
Well, I got something to talk about. What's going to happen to James Harden, y'all? What will end up?
He's probably not going to get traded.
I don't know. I think you got to let him go, though. I think you have to.
Why?
I mean, I just think that him and Embiid, they're just not going to work. And then the fact that Harden throwing one of his temper tantrums again, like he did in Houston, they're just gonna bring the morale down, and that's gonna piss off Embiid even more. And now you might even have Embiid start requesting trades or start expressing his frustrations. So I think Philly got to let him go. They might not get what they want from him, but I think they got to let him go though.
See, that's why the player always wins, because every time they just throw their toys out the pram, we just give them what they want.
Not only that, who wants to trade for that, Mars? Because we already seen that movie. So we seen him in Houston with the fat suit on, right? And he goes to Brooklyn. How'd that go? That was terrible. And then he goes to Philadelphia, and then they actually weren't bad. I think Philly had the third or the fourth best record in the NBA, and it flamed out in the playoffs. So now James Harden wants to throw another tantrum and not play, which, by the way, we're in a contract year. Don't leave that part out. That's very important to mention. We're in a contract year, and he's still got some years left. So he wants to throw another temper tantrum, and somebody's going to pay him? No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think Philadelphia, they'd be well within their rights to hold on to him, play him. If this doesn't work by the trade deadline, then you move off of him. Because if last I checked, did Kevin Durant not demand to be traded last summer? They did not trade him. No, they did not. So I ain't trading him. Mm-mm.
Yo, can you hear me?
I think, yeah, we can hear you. I think the fact.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, Chill. It's just that the fact that I'm worried about is Joel Embiid, how he's gonna feel, the frustration that he's going to let out, because he's gonna feel like, in all honesty, Philly has somewhat let down Embiid. They ignored him when he said he wanted Jimmy to stay. They chose Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. That was one letdown. Then the draft, and then the Ben Simmons stuff didn't work out. Philly really hasn't done a good job of surrounding consistent talent around Embiid, honestly.
Now, remember, this ain't about his game. But I'm sorry, Mars, really quickly. This ain't about James Harden game. This is about him getting paid. That's why he went out.
But he should not have turned down. He should not have turned down. He should not turn down the extension that he could have got then. Because he's not gonna get another major payday like that ever again. He should not have turned down the money in the first place.
He left that $50 million. He left that $100 million on the table in Houston. He wowed for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the fact he's in a contract here is actually a key bit of information, because you can't just refuse to play in a contract here, because then who's offering you a contract when your contract runs out? They see what you were doing in the final year. So I think he kind of has to play. Right. So I think Philly kind of hold like all the cards right now, because if he doesn't play, he's just hurting himself long term. So
think about it. He beefing with a guy that he loves. He loves Daryl Moore, and now they are odds. So I mean, I don't know. I think if you're thinking about Joel Embiid, I think you have to get off hard. But if you're thinking about, but Chill is right as well, though. You could hold him until the All-Star break and get rid of him then. But if I'm Philly, you kind of got to make a move now, because you're going to have Joel Embiid start having his moments as well.
I just run it back, see what happens.
I would too, Mars. He's not going to, after everything that we did and everything that we gave up to get him, nah, I'm not trying to hear that.
I agree.
Low Junior. We got two Low Juniors here. We have Low Junior right here. And then we have Dope.
Ah man,
I never.
Magic fan too.
Damo Low. Low Junior, go ahead, fam.
Yo, what's going on? So, y'all talking about OG Anunoby? He wants a bigger role.
Yeah, they was talking about that with the first group, but I think OG, if he does get traded, I think Memphis would be a great fit for him.
Perfect.
I think he'll fit in Memphis.
Perfect.
Cleveland too.
Cleveland. Oh yeah, they need that. They need him.
I'll take him in Houston for Dylan Brooks.
No, you already paid Dylan Brooks, Mars. Sorry, you already paid him.
Hey, Mars.
The 80 bands kind of crazy.
They got to keep Dylan Brooks to keep Jalen Green company, man. So Dylan Brooks got to stay there.
Chill out.
All right, that's crazy, bro.
Veteran leadership.
Okay, let's not talk
Mars,
about
one or two things could happen in this Houston situation. This thing could, in terms of Ime Udoka, this thing could be fantastic for these young guys, where they can get some discipline, where they can get some continuity. On the flip side, this thing could be a disaster. Considering what Ime Udoka came from, considering how undisciplined and how young these guys are, this thing could just completely go the other way. I'm going with the former instead of the latter, but it could definitely be a disaster if you're not careful.
Yeah, it depends. It's really entirely down to the mentality of our group. If Jalen Green just isn't mature and doesn't buy into playing defense or giving 100% or playing team basketball, same with everyone else on the team, then yeah, it's not going to work out. But if they are what I believe they are, which is professional players who have just lacked guidance in the early years of their career, then this should be great. I'm interested to see how it's going to work with Sengun because Udoka probably doesn't want a big who's as bad defensively as he is. So I'm going to be interested to see how he uses him. But I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about the future with Ime Adewale.
I think we can fix that though, Mars. That the defensive woes. I think we can fix that because I don't think he's got to be an elite defensive big. What he has to be able to do is he has to be able to rebound. And I think that your perimeter guys like Dylan Brooks, right? I think he and Trevor Ariza Part 2. I think those two guys can supplement that.
Yeah, I agree. I think our perimeter defense is really what's going to have to be. Instead of us having great rim protection, our perimeter defense just needs to stop people from being able to get to the rim where they can attack Sengun. I think that's probably what's going to be the biggest goal. And with Trevor Ariza and Dylan Brooks and Amen Thompson, and if Jalen Green buys in defensively, I think we have the pieces to be able to do that. So
is Sengun as bad as Vooch defensively?
About even.
Because Vooch isn't terrible defensively. He might not be an elite.
I think right now he's worse than Vucevic defensively because rebounding he's worse. Rim protection, they're probably both. They're both just they're pretty similar. But I'll give Vooch the slight edge, but I don't think either are anything to write home about.
So. This is why I bet to ask you, Mars and Chill. Do you think that Udoka could get the Thompson twin, Thompson to buy in on the defensive end this season as a rookie? Do you think he can make that transition immediately for him to be a great defender? Because he got a potential to be a great defender in this league if he buys into it.
Yeah, I think he can because I think he is a willing defender. When I watch him at OTE, even if it's not against the greatest competition, he's a willing defender, especially on the ball. He puts in effort. So I don't think the effort with him is going to be really the issue. I think it's just going to be him understanding NBA offenses and how to actually play defense. He has all the tools and he's going to be willing to try, which is like half the battle when it comes to defense. It's just about him understanding what's going on, getting better, getting around screens, understanding when you switch, when you don't switch, all of those little terminologies. But I think he seems to be an intelligent person, so I trust that he can understand and pick up the game quite quickly. So I think from day one, he'll probably be a positive defender for us.
Yeah, I can get with that. And, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. The Boston Celtics had the best defense in the league. That's what I'm playing for.
Exactly.
That's a fact. But do you think, Chill, deep down that we could see, let's just say this Dame thing don't go through in Miami, can we see a possible 3-team deal that Jaylen Brown may end up being in Houston? And I think it all depends how Houston start off the season, though.
For who? For who? Who we giving up?
Jalen Green.
Yeah, I might. Like, for instance, if he may see something in Jalen Green that he doesn't like, don't be surprised that he may try to. Don't be surprised.
We trade Jalen Green and I'm gone. We trade Jalen Green and I'm gone. They better not trade Jalen Green.
Mars gonna miss that Jalen Green D, man. I know he is, bro.
Hey, all right, bro.
Hey, yo.
Y'all are wilding now.
That's a pause moment right there.
There's no pause that can say that though.
Y'all got it.
That's just insane. That's just insane.
Yeah, that is insane.
All right, fellas. I'm gonna rotate the guests, but pleasure seeing you guys, man. Y'all be easy, all right?
Wait, can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead, Big Store.
All right. One thing I gotta say is, you know what? Never mind. I stuttered. I don't know what the fuck I was gonna say.
No.
Oh my God. No.
Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I just
Say it.
Get me out of here. I forgot. Oh, the Magic and the playing. That's what I was gonna say. The Magic and the playing.
Oh, okay. Is that really what he wanted to say? I don't think so.
No. I don't think so. I don't think so either.
No, I don't think so.
That's crazy, bro. I'm gonna leave you in the back room to see if you remember it, but
right. So
I'm hurt.
Hey, Dub, thanks for having me up here, man. I gotta bounce. Right.
Hey,
I gotta bounce, but thanks for having me up here. I'll get with y'all dudes later. Mars, I'll see you tomorrow.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Hey, be easy. Hey, chill. And I was gonna say we are setting this up. We are setting this up.
Among Us?
Yeah, I'm messaging Ticket right now. I think he's down.
Ticket?
What,
Ticket Among Us.
You think we're not gonna do that? And chill. He really gonna call Cap. He really gonna be calling shit out of Capper. Bro, if we could get Ticket and Chill on Among Us, bro, it's gonna go nuclear. It's gonna go nuclear.
Pano Among Us is elite.
That shit will go crazy. And Fluent will probably be down, especially if Chill's down. And then me, you, J-Rob, JD, and maybe a couple more. I hope Shaq could join. If Shaq could join, that'll be dope. Big Ox. Oh, man. That'll be funny, bro. We'll call it. What should we call it? PC Among Us? Among Us PC? Well, no.
See, this is why you're not great at coming up with titles like me. Like,
Mars, you don't come up with titles.
Hey, open court. So be quiet.
You stole that title.
Yo, first off, yo,
damn, you don't want to invite Lo to panel Among Us?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Lo wants to pull up too. Lo be bougie now, so I don't ever know. But I'll hit him.
Lo's big time. Lo's Hollywood.
Lo's been real bougie. I'm not gonna hold you.
Pirate got on them, Lo been kind of quiet, been kind of low.
Let me text Lo, see if he down.
Yo, one thing about, can we also, y'all need to stop letting Lo get away with this argument tactic, and it's been bothering me for months. And I know Dub hates it and Mars hates it too. When he'll be arguing about two players, and then he'll try to bring up a comparison with two players with two completely different profiles to try to prove that the other person's wrong by being like, oh, your logic's not consistent. Like him bringing up Shaq in an argument when you're referring, who y'all discussing yesterday?
We were talking about AI.
Oh, they were talking about John Stockton
bring
and then Pete Maravich.
Bringing up Shaq in a discussion about between AI and like Pete Maravich is weird to me. That's all I have to say.
So why you ain't cooked Lo on that before?
I did cook Lo on that before because I got.
You ain't cooked nothing, nigga. You ain't cooked not a thing.
I did. Oh yeah. Low. Okay, Low.
He on it.
That's my thought.
Who's a better playmaker, Kobe or Shaq?
In their prime?
Yes.
Thousands?
Who's the better playmaker, Kobe or Shaq?
In the early 2000s, it was Shaq, and it wasn't close.
What?
In the early 2000s, it was Shaq. It wasn't even close.
At playmaking?
How many assists Shaq averaged? Like 2?
No, stop.
Three
it
or
was
4.
What could
like
Shaq?
So why is Shaq a better playmaker than Kobe?
Dunk the ball and because he not.
What is this nigga stuttering for? Like, what's
Shaq only?
That's disgusting. That's
not me. Why is Shaq a better playmaker than Kobe?
He drew in more defensive attention.
He can play make out of the post. He can play make off the dribble. He can play make on the perimeter. Shaq could just.
Damn, is he the best player? He probably the best player I've ever heard. If he's doing all that, I'm not gonna hold you.
You ain't
It's
no
not fact though.
When did
You
Shaq
feel
ever
me?
playmaker on the perimeter?
Exactly. When you see Shaq on the perimeter, dribble,
Shaq
make
can
a,
only play make from one spot on the floor. So how's he really a better playmaker than Kobe?
I mean, not but you know what I mean by. I feel what you're saying, Mars. It's like it's just inside.
No, you
feel
don't
me,
see what he's saying. He's
18.
just chatting. He's just chatting. You don't see what he's saying.
That man just got stuck. He said, oh.
Like,
But
Yeah, he has-
But it's like
he's
Shaq,
making
that's
sense.
not
Making
making a
sense.
comparison.
Makes
What
no
you
sense.
mean? Shaq
Makes
can
no sense.
play make off the dribble. Shaq can
Shaq's
only catch it down.
Shaq is a more valuable offensive piece than Kobe. He's not a better playmaker than Kobe.
There
That's
you
the
go.
difference.
Okay,
There you
why?
go.
Why?
What do you mean? His
He's
gravity
7'1",
and his
330.
his presence on the floor and his impact on the inside tilts the defense more than Kobe's playmaking and combined scoring will ever do.
Oh, so his offensive impact is greater.
Yes, but his playmaking is not better, and that's
Okay. Why?
Who's the
Why?
better scorer between Kobe and Shaq?
See, that's a different question. In their prime,
Now you talking?
Oh, wait. Are we? Well, I want to be clear. Are we talking about in their prime
Kobe.
peak?
Yeah.
Like, what are we? What are,
Yeah, y'all talking
Oh,
about
oh,
like?
oh,
Are y'all talking about
oh,
2001 to
my
04
question
Kobe?
is-
Or are you talking
Kobe's
about
a
like?
different question. If we're talking about playmaking, Kobe will owe to me prime, whatever, long jet throughout the whole career. Kobe's a better playmaker than Shaq. Shaq has more gravity and offers more offensive impact. Is a more valuable offensive piece. He's not a better playmaker than Kobe. I'm not hearing that.
well,
No.
why though?
But is he a better scorer than Kobe?
I have to
No.
think about that more.
No.
I would say no.
Okay,
I'll
so
say no.
Kobe's a better scorer, and he's a better playmaker, and he's a better passer.
Kobe's higher all time for me and Shaq.
Absolute prime Shaq is a better scorer. Like it's more valuable.
Than
offensive
absolute
piece.
prime Kobe?
Is absolute
what's
is absolute better offensive weapons. So it's hard for me to evaluate them as
What
scorers.
what is this offensive weapon like conundrum we keep falling into?
He means offensive impact. That's
Like,
what he means.
bro,
Yeah,
like,
but how do you have higher offensive impact if you're a worse scorer, worse playmaker, worse passer? Like, where's the impact coming from?
impact
I think it's just
His size, his
The
size,
screen setting, Mars, duh.
his size and athleticism. So Mars, it's like Giannis and the dominance, right? So Shaq is
Yeah,
so
like-
big. So despite him not having those skill set,
You
he's
have
so
to
big.
account
and
for
such a
Shaq
force.
first if he's on
But
your team.
we're saying he's worse
So
at
that
every
means he's a
aspect
better
of offense,
playmaker,
but he
too.
has more offensive impact. That's not true for anyone else in history ever.
Because
Again,
Shaq is
and
a diesel.
Mars, just like
Shaq
the
is
point.
a-
you're
Oh,
making,
Mars, he's a
Mars, and
diesel.
Mars, just like
You're
the
cooked,
point you're
you're
saying
cooked.
yesterday.
But my thing is
What did Gerald tell you that one time?
I can't.
Impose his will.
Yeah, he poses well, bro.
All I'm saying is, if Shaq and Kobe are on the opposing team as a coach, I'm more worried about stopping Shaq first than Kobe. He's.
But
at the
wouldn't
top of the
that make
board.
him a better playmaker though?
No. That's not a play. That's not just because you're a better player. It doesn't mean you're more off. You're a better offensive. You're more valuable offensive piece. That's just one aspect of being offensive impact.
No.
Kobe's more impactful on the offensive end. This is wild to me right now.
Wait.
You guys don't.
Y'all
do not.
If Shaq is posting up, are you sending more defensive attention and willing to give up an open look to stop Shaq versus before you do for Kobe?
I'm stopping Shaq and then I'm worried about Kobe.
Okay, I'll ask the question again. If Shaq is in a post,
yes,
are you willing to send more defensive help to stop him?
You have to.
Yes, you have to.
Okay, so would that then not make him a better playmaker?
No,
then?
it makes him a more viable offensive piece.
Yeah.
So what is playmaking to you then?
To me, we've already had this discussion.
Either
To me,
scoring
playmaking
or
is
assisting or making a play. It's literally what it sounds like. You get the ball, you catch the ball.
Like we know what playmaking is.
Now
Lo.
you
You're
could dribble left.
No, I'm genuinely
Make
asking you
the
a question.
pass, shoot the ball. Yeah.
Let football breakdown answer this.
Like,
What is
saying
playmaking?
Like to me, playmaking is your ability to get your ability to get your teammates involved, playmaking, set up teammates, passing, find the right cutter, all that stuff, and then your own ability to score. And I put more emphasis on when I talk about playmaking, I put more percentage on your ability to get your teammates involved when it comes to playmaking, ball handling, ability to assist, ability to pass, and things of that nature. To me, Kobe is better at that. But as far as a more viable offensive piece that manipulates the defense because of his presence alone, I'm taking Shaq.
Literally what you just said sounds like playmaking to me. But okay,
that's not playmaking. Just because you have gravity doesn't mean you're a better playmaker. You have to be if your team takes advantage of your gravity, that's not you playmaking. That's an aspect of you.
No. We just disagree then. We disagree.
Cool. We'll disagree then.
Playmaking is making plays.
You're not about to tell me. You're not about to tell me someone with zero guard skills and to me with just a far less passing ability, and then doesn't have the ability to be more versatile on different parts of the floor is a better playmaker than Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry. He's more dominant and impactful offensive force and more valuable on the court, but he's not a better playmaker.
Good question. Ask a question, Doug.
Yeah, so since we could transition to this one, who is a better passer, CP3 or Jokic?
Me? I think Jokic is a better passer.
But see, that just who has more guard skills, CP3 or Jokic?
No, but
they're asking who's the better passer.
Okay, so are we gonna say Shaq and Jokic on the same tier of playmaking?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I know.
That's the logic you're trying to go down.
The logic you just used to why Kobe is a better playmaker was based off of guard skills. That's literally what you just said.
You took one word out of all the things I said that went into playmaking. And
you said ball. Okay, fine. You said ball handling. You said okay. Who's a better playmaker, CP3 or Jokic? Who's a better playmaker?
Jokic.
No, that wasn't the.
So now we're just changing.
Okay, I'm asking the correct question. Who's a better playmaker, Jokic or CP3?
To me, CP3 is a better playmaker than Jokic.
He paid to get his question answered.
He answered it.
Right?
He said CP3. He said CP3.
The question is who's a better.
He didn't all answer.
He did answer. He's not
all of them. He did.
I think who's a better passer? I think is Jokic. Mars.
I also think it's Jokic.
Okay.
I believe it's Jokic.
Jokic. Dub.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I like the creation of a guard. I just do. I favor it more, man. But I'll say I'll give it to Jokic. I'll give it to Jokic.
Okay, now you can go back to your playmaking conversation.
Okay.
So I'm the only one who takes CP3 as a passer.
No. Football also said it. So Keem, who's a better passer, CP3 or Jokic to you? Excuse me.
I say CP3.
Okay. So there's that answer. So who's a better playmaker? Football.
Playmaker to me, CP3 is a better playmaker. I think Jokic is a better passer.
What? That's the opposite.
Makes no sense.
If that's your
point. It does make sense. Passing is okay. Playmaking and then passing is a subset of playmaking. Passing is a subset of playmaking.
This is all easy. Look at it like 2K. Playmaking is your speed with ball, your ball handle, your pass accuracy, your pass. Like that, boom. That's playmaking. All those right there.
No, that's not. Oh man,
I want to
be clear.
Playmake on the perimeter and the post.
No, listen.
CP3, you cannot just put in the post to playmake.
Just the act of passing the ball.
It's just passing.
Just passing, not playmaking. Yes. Playing to me it involves more than passing. Just passing the ball. Jokic is a better passer because he's literally capable of more passes than CP3 will ever be able to because of his height.
Yes.
As far as playmaking, now I take into account where you can dribble on the court,
speed with ball,
dribbling, your ball handling, stuff of that nature, and and because CP3 by virtue is a perimeter player and smaller can get to other spots on the floor more so than Jokic. I believe Jokic can. Again, that's a subjective. We can debate that when we want.
Jokic's handles are like the most slept-on part of his game. I never.
No. He has good handles, but he's not in the same tier of CP3. That's who we're comparing to.
What about Jokic being able to
I've seen CP3 get ripped. I haven't seen Jokic get
Mars.
ripped.
That's why I consider him a better passer. But to me, that's not enough for him to me to put him above CP3 as a playmaker.
We have different definitions of what playmaking.
That's fine.
I got a question when ready.
Okay, what's your question?
So if CP3 is a better playmaker than Jokic, but we take into account that Jokic has more gravity, he can make more opportunities off that gravity because he can hit open guys, would that not give Jokic the edge because Jokic can do that from all three levels on the court, even on the perimeter, even if it's not like CP3?
Mars, I gotta use the bathroom.
I think CP3 is a better.
Dub did not have to announce that, but whatever.
I think CP3 is a better passer on the perimeter with the ball in his hands on the perimeter. But I mean,
shut your whore mouth.
To me, that's debatable. But yeah.
Okay. if it's debate, but can I go first, please?
Yeah, go. Yeah, you got it.
So, but my thing is, since Jokic is such a better scorer at such a higher efficiency, since he can make almost all the passes CP3 can, let's say
make
CP3
more.
is
He's a
better.
better passer.
Exactly. So if he can make more passes, he can get more people open because of his scoring gravity, and he can still make those passes. Would that make him a better playmaker because more people are getting involved and more plays are happening because his ability just to do everything versus CP3?
I personally think you can fit CP3 into more systems than you can a Jokic. That's just my opinion with his playmaking, ball handling, and ability to go to maneuver with the ball throughout the floor more so than Jokic. So that's why I give him the edge on playmaking. That's a great. Again, if you say Jokic is a better playmaker than CP3, again, I'm not gonna.
No, wait. Let's. I'm gonna say
playmakers. Like it's not like
let's challenge that concept. Can you put him in more systems? Because like if your argument is on ball guard play, if you take the ball, if you put Chris Paul in a system where he's off ball, how much playmaking value does he still have then at that point?
Chris Paul. The most underrated part of Chris Paul's game is his ability.
Okay, so that's.
I don't know. Maybe I think Chris Paul could play effectively off ball. That's.
I'm not saying he can't play effectively. I'm saying about how much value would he still have? Because in terms of Jokic, it's already been proven that he can still hold a lot of value on and off ball at the top of the key and in the post. So it's more proof that you can do it with more systems with Jokic than CP3, because has there ever been a moment where you've been able to provide enough evidence, or he's been able to provide enough evidence that as an off-ball player, he still sustains and holds a lot of value from a playmaking standpoint?
He was off ball. Okay, did CP3 get hurt in that Golden State series in when they lost in 7? Right, he got hurt in game.
Yeah.
They were down 3-2.
5 or 6.
So let's again. We don't know injuries, but if they win that series, he was playing off ball because Harden was on the court. So I think they were able to effectively play off ball in that system.
I'm not saying he can't effectively play off ball. We're talking about the value of him as a playmaker off ball.
I still think he would be a viable playmaker off ball. I mean, we haven't seen enough of Chris Paul off ball outside of like.
Okay, so how are you able to make that assessment that you just made if you haven't seen enough?
I'm just going based off of his skill set and the fact that I think he's a better ball handler and is more mobile on the offensive end than a Jokic, and he can shoot he can score from all areas of the court. I think he would be a great off ball player. So,
but you have seen Jokic do this. I don't know. You're jumping.
I just don't think he could do it to the extent of CP3 throughout the whole game. And Jokic primarily operates under the 3-point line. I think if you had a system where you need someone to operate past the 3-point line or run around more, be more movement like a Steph Curry or like a Rip Hamilton, I would trust CP3 in that role more so than Jokic. That's it.
But that's like me saying then as a post player, I would prefer what's his name over CP3, right?
What do you mean? What's his name?
As a post playmaker, I would prefer Jokic over CP3.
Of course,
absolutely. But there's more spots in the basketball, like area wise, in the perimeter than in the post.
So why?
Jokic.
Wait. Why? But why though? Why is there more as a playmaker? No, there's not. If I'm posting up, I can post from the box all the way to the baseline, all the way from the elbow on both sides.
There's more space on the perimeter than the interior. I don't know.
Yeah, but as on the perimeter, yes, but as a playmaker on the perimeter, not really. You're not playmaking on the perimeter in a corner. No, you're not.
I mean, you can.
You can't. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Let me speak because you're not being genuine with this conversation.
How am I not?
Sure. I'm about to be extremely specific so we can have this conversation. Sure. Yes, you can playmake on a perimeter in the corner. Yes, sure, that's possible. But it doesn't happen that often. That's not like a marquee place for somebody to playmake. The same way that, technically speaking, Jokic does playmake above the 3-point line from time to time. Yes, but no one would dare argue. So you understand what I'm saying now. So, sure, technically, CP could do that. But for the most part, when he is playmaking on the perimeter, it's at the top of the key. That's primarily what he's doing. So when you're saying that it's more area that's being covered, not really. He's just playmaking at the top of the key.
CP3 doesn't only just play make at the top of the key.
No, I'm saying when you're being a perimeter oriented player, majority of it is from the top of the key.
It's not only from the top of the key.
I'll say it again. Majority of it is from the top of the key.
So you're telling me every system when people play make from the perimeter, it's always from the top of the key. Majority.
I'll say it again. Majority of the time, because you have a hard time listening.
Yes, he's right.
Yes, I don't know what
he's right because pick and rolls, most pick and rolls, top of the key. If you're passing out to the corner, most of the time you're doing that is the top of the key or the wing.
Yeah.
So like everywhere, most offense originates from the top of the key.
Top of the key.
You either start the top of the key or you go to the paint or you're kicking out.
I think that's anecdotal. I don't think you guys have any real numbers or just you guys are just this is chatting.
Yo, who's better, Darius Garland or De'Aaron Fox?
This is the reason why I can't.
I don't know.
This is the reason why I can't have conversations with people because it's like it's a very non-genuine conversation.
How is it a non-genuine conversation? You just keep levying these attacks. Oh, it's non-genuine, but you're the one that's trying to say Shaq's a better fucking playmaker than Kobe, by the way.
Not just
I said NSP. That said in the early 2000s. I've already made this. I've already established that the way that we view playmaking is different. I view it as Shaq can get the ball in the post, get doubled, kick it out to something, and get doubled, and the player who's open is in the corner, and he passes it to like Derek Fisher, who then swings it to Rick Fox, and then Rick Fox knocks down a shot. Even though Derek Fisher made the pass to get the assist that got to Rick Fox, assist, the person who actually generated the open look for Rick Fox was Shaq. So that quantifies him
does that happen like that every time?
I never said it happened every time, but what I'm saying is if you were acknowledging that wouldn't quantify as playmaking under the guidelines for Shaq, then we just disagree.
If there was a stat for that too, LeBron would have the most of those all time too. I could tell you right now. I know that for a fact too.
It's not a LeBron conversation, but
I don't know.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you feel me? As far as the hockey assists,
for a fact, it's kind of crazy. For a fact, it's kind of crazy. I don't know if it's for a fact, but I hear.
There's stats where it's like LeBron had like the most assists to 3-pointers for like whatever time in the years, whatever.
But anyway. Kobe got more rings than Shaq without Kobe, so I don't even know how.
Let's please.
That's
bad.
Oh my God,
no. Because I'm trying to talk about some winning bias, because I hate the way I talk about it. So that's
everyone just has different perspectives. You feel me? That's the joy of debate, and everyone offers different perspectives.
And plus, if someone says Jokic's a better player,
you guys not gonna let Keem cook? What's going on?
Come on, bro. Let me cook. I got some stuff to get off. So I missed like the last week of like y'all stuff. So I went back and watched some of the VODs, and you guys were talking about winning bias and how much y'all hate it. And then like all the people just sat there and agreed and said nothing. I was like, bro, this is disgusting. Because I think what happened, someone said if Karl Malone won those 2 championships, he'd be a top 10 player of all time.
That was true.
And then you guys like, no,
that's crazy.
What? I'm like, obviously, I wouldn't say top 10, but he would be.
Wait,
you see the regard he's held in right now?
97.
The one,
the two against the Bulls. The two against the Bulls.
He got one to the final. Yeah, that one.
Bro,
yeah,
we don't know that, but I'll tell you one thing: he'd have a fucking strong consideration.
Yeah, and you guys were saying like, no, it doesn't make any sense. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, what? I was like, that makes complete sense because when you guys win, because what's the point of like playing basketball? It's to win, and so like people get elevated from these things. It's like if Jokic never won this year and didn't win from like here and on. No one would care about him. He'd be like Steve Nash. Like
those people are dumb, though.
Yeah, no one caring about him.
But I'm saying that's how basketball. That's how basketball works. What are you playing for? What are you playing for? Then why are you playing basketball?
Because I'm the one who was making this argument.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
We play basketball to win. Anyone who plays a team sport, you're still playing with the goal to win.
Yep.
The issue is I'm not going to elevate you because you won and this guy didn't win, knowing that you aren't the only factor for why your team won. Karl Malone doesn't all of a sudden become better than Hakeem or Bird or Magic. Whoever you have at 10, he doesn't automatically go above them because his team won the 97 and 98 finals if he plays the exact same level in the postseason his whole career. That doesn't make him a better player. He's just won because now John Stockton stepped up, or because Jerry Sloan decided to make some adjustments to his illegal defense abusing offense. Does that make him better? I don't think so.
Or
No,
somebody
so
in the
answer
opposing
this.
team played worse. Or somebody in the
Like,
opposing team.
that's not
elevate your
him
skill
getting
set.
better.
No.
So me elevating him based on other people doesn't make sense to me. That's why
So
I
answer this: how
Are
do
y'all
you
doing
rate
John
your players?
Stockton
Then?
again?
No.
Keem,
Winning bias. Talk about winning bias.
Winning bias.
So
Okay.
Keem, I actually love the way, because I've been when I have
cowboy. You got me feeling like a cowboy.
Mars brought up a great.
Shut up, Dub, stop. Don't you ever do that again, Dub. Don't ever do that again.
What happened? I missed it.
Cowboy TikTok
doing that
song.
for free is crazy.
Doing that for Dub did the whole the TikTok lady.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Dub. Chill out. Chill. Please chill.
Wait, the NPC stuff?
You guys wonder why I called him Lamar Odom.
Anyway, I was saying
what were you saying? Yeah,
the way I like the way Mars framed it like about 3 days ago. Because I think it's the
ice
best
cream's
way
so good.
to evaluate players. If we're doing an all-time, this is how I do like my kind of a top 10 list. If you're doing an all-time draft, right? And I could have this player's production because outcomes of the team can vary if you run a simulation, right? But you can you can at least surmise that a player would produce what they would produce regardless of the team they're on. If I can get that player's production on my franchise for the duration of their tenure in the league, plus or minus 3 years, given specific situations, who would you draft first on your team? And that's why I have LeBron as a goal. Because if I had LeBron for 20 years with this production, given an equal distribution of teams, like everyone has a relatively the same rosters, right? I'm going to win probably more or have a more successful franchise than most other players I would draft first all time. So that's kind of I like the way you phrase that,
that's
Mark.
cool. But so my point is how do you rank these players? Because if you're not winning, then like that diminishes you. Like take Carmelo Anthony. He has an amazing skill set. Obviously, he can't really play make like that, but his scoring ability is amazing. But he never won, so no one cares about Carmelo Anthony. He's not put in any high regard on any list. How are you supposed to make your all-time list or like who's like ranks there if you don't take winning into account?
You want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
Carmelo's just not as good as other people. That's it. It's
I
not
was
because he
just
didn't
I was
win.
giving an
He's-
example.
No, Carmelo, Tracy McGrady, anyone who hasn't won, I hear these examples all the time because Kevin Durant is one that gets brought up a lot because they don't count as rings and they say if you take away accolades, Kevin Durant is a top 5 player. No, he's just not as good as these other people. Carmelo Anthony is a tremendous scorer. He's also an egregious defender, an egregious passer, and an egregious playmaker. He has holes in his game. And if those holes in his game are the reason why he didn't win,
thank you for the rose.
Sure. If those reasons, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
if those holes in his game are the reason why he didn't win, that is fine. But the reason he's not held higher isn't because he didn't win. It's because he's actually not as good as the eye test people would point him out to be. He's just not
So
that
how
good.
about this
That's
player? You guys love him, Steve Nash. He won those 2 MVPs. That great system. Never won. Never made it to the finals even. So like, how? And so everybody hates this guy. Earlier on PC when you guys talking about is he a generational? Bro, the comments were going crazy talking about like Steve Nash. This guy sucks. And see, like if he won one of those championships,
people don't like Steve Nash, and then I'm here saying he's one of the best offensive players that's ever existed, despite the fact he hasn't won. And the reason they didn't win is A, they ran into a great Spurs team. And B, the team's defense just wasn't that good. And the reason their defense wasn't that good is A, Steve Nash wasn't a good defender. And B, they were running Amari Stoudemire at the 5, and their pick and roll coverages were rudimentary at best. There's many reasons why they didn't win.
Suspension.
It goes into the fact that the West was stacked, the Spurs were a better team, their defense wasn't good. And then in 07, when they had their best shot, some questionable suspensions. And whether or not they would have won is neither here nor there, because they might not beat the Spurs. They might have still lost to the Jazz in the conference finals. Who knows? But there's many reasons why they didn't win. I'm not just going to say Steve Nash just isn't as good as
Can I
the MVP
chime on
say.
to this next? Okay, so my thing is, if somebody wins a championship, that just doesn't erase their skill set. If somebody has legitimate flaws in their game, a championship just doesn't put a little eraser blemish on that. Like my favorite player, Russell Westbrook. If Russell Westbrook wins a championship, somehow that doesn't erase his bad shot IQ and stuff like that. It's still there. It doesn't erase that.
Speaking of that, we're gonna have a real conversation about Giannis in 2 years.
Yeah, I was about to say Giannis because you
We're
guys
gonna have a
have
real
like
conversation
he's
about
1A,
Giannis in
1B
2
with
years.
Jokic.
I told y'all about that
Because
run.
of that one
I
ring.
told
That
y'all
one
about
ring
that
is the only
run.
reason why he's up there. If he didn't win that,
but
then,
the one year in which he went on the ring, one of the problems that he had was just his shooting. He had by far his best shooting season, and so what tends to happen is that some of these players, when they win, they do actually perform. That thus translates to the winning, right? So again, going back to the Karl Malone argument. Your argument, and this is why I just don't, and we've asked this to Chilltown several times, and he's just been inconsistent with this answer. I don't care how he wants to frame it. There's been time if Michael Jordan doesn't get the steal on the baseline on Karl Malone, they're going to win that game and win that series. But Karl Malone did the exact same thing. Does now all of a sudden Karl Malone look different as a player because Michael Jordan didn't make a play or because Michael Jordan missed a shot?
He will be perceived different.
Yes.
Okay,
actually,
but okay.
I can explain why.
And that is, I want to be clear. That's stupid. Whoever, if you're doing that, if you're perceiving someone different based off of the inability of someone else, that is a dumb way to talk about basketball.
The reason
I don't care. Y'all are arguing something because it already existed. That's the reason why we should keep doing it. That is a definition of stupidity. That's what that is.
All right. So listen.
Insanity,
Jason Tatum's
actually.
game.
I don't think it's the actual
garbage
definition of
the whole
stupidity.
game. But then he made those few shots at the end of the game. That was a good game now, right? Because everyone said he won the game, so it's a good game now. If they didn't win that game, everyone's crapping on him because they lost that game because how badly he plays. That's why the fact that you win completely changes how.
But your argument is through the lens of perception. I'm not a bot, so I don't care about how other people perceive them. I'm talking about what I actually
that's how we
saw.
rank players because we have to perceive.
Stop. You are a bot. You're a bot.
So your top 10.
You're saying the masses do something, so that means it's right. That's what
you're saying. So you're saying it's purely based off of skill set. Bro, talk with arguments, not insults. Shut up. So
I'm not insulting. I'm just saying you're saying the masses do something, so it makes it correct. That's what you're saying.
No, that's whatever. Anyways, but so your top 10 is purely based off of skill set, not about any of their accolades or how they're winning and
how long you were good for and how impactful.
We've been speaking about this for like the last year. I don't know how this is like.
Yeah, but because then they ask me, why isn't KD top 5?
The thing is, winning matters though. That's the thing. It matters.
No one's not saying winning doesn't. No one's not saying winning doesn't matter. It's a team sport. There's so many other variables that go into it.
My thing is, winning bias exists, and I don't think it's a bad thing because
it is 110% a bad thing.
The only way, let me be clear, because winning
Mars is the point of the sport.
No, that's fair. But it's far.
It's the point of the sport, but it shouldn't change your view on somebody's skill set. Just because when I was growing up,
their skill set isn't changing. I'm just saying the skill set isn't changing because they won. But the thing is, if your skill set doesn't lead to winning, then what's the point?
Okay, I have a question, and it's going to be entirely hypothetical, but it's a question. Who's your GOAT? Who do you have as your GOAT?
My GOAT would be LeBron James, but that's only because I honestly
I don't need to know why. It's just okay. Follow me. LeBron James is your GOAT based on whatever reasons you have. That's fine. If LeBron James played his whole career and his teammates were me, Dub, Low, and you, and he wins absolutely nothing, has LeBron James got worse at basketball?
Like, I guess it would have.
He got worse at basketball.
No. Okay, how he plays. The thing is, listen. Can I explain?
Yes.
Because why he got worse is because his skill set and everything that he did not lead to winning. If your skill set doesn't allow you to win, then I'm sorry, it's worse than whoever.
Is it his skill set or the fact that he's playing with me, Dub, Low, and you?
I'm about to say we've already acknowledged. We acknowledge that his skill set does lead to wins. Is that if the teammates got worse? No, I'm saying, but the teammates get worse around him. That doesn't mean that his skill set doesn't translate to wins. It's that his teammates aren't good enough to aid him in the process of winning.
Because obviously it's a team sport. I completely understand that. So you need good.
Do you have Harden?
So this is what. Hold on, time out. Because this is what people do, and it angers me because they do it for football and they do it for basketball.
Not yet.
And just
different.
No, I'm about to explain it to you why it's relatable. Because football, they don't, for all the positions in football, they don't care about anything about winning besides the quarterback position. You don't need to win to be a great wide receiver. You don't need to be a winner to be a great tight end. You don't need to win to be a great cornerback, D tackle, defensive end. It doesn't matter. But because the quarterback position, and this is just a wrongful thing that the masses do, because they have more like responsibility to winning compared to everyone else, they penalize them more than all the other positions because of that. When in reality, it is true that they are more responsible than everyone else, but it is still minuscule. The whole team winning, it's still probably a 10 to 15% responsibility that those guys have compared to all the other factors and layers that goes into. No, let me finish. And I'm about to land. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, because in basketball, because they keep giving you this talking point of, oh yeah, well basketball is the one sport where one player could decide a lot, which is true, more compared to any other sport. But that even though that is true, the whole end goal of them winning is still affected by more other factors apart from that player's skill set and those players' attributes and those players themselves. Even if it's 15 to 20%, there's things like luck, there's things like injuries, there's things like your players showing up, there's things like the team that you're going up and matchup based, because it's matchup dependent as well. And anyone who doesn't say that is a liar, because you going through an easier road compared to other guys does matter when you're winning. Chris Webber, in the Kings, they kept running into Kobe and Shaq and losing to those guys, but that was still a great team. So it's just there's too many other factors and layers that goes into winning other than these guys' skill set.
And Dub, to actually support your point, is because it's like it's always become that point becomes more apparent while watching NBA Finals, because you'd be like, as great as Jokic is, as great as Jamal Murray is, Aaron Gordon getting 25 points, Christian Braun giving, like, you need those other guys, 8th, 7th, 6th guys to step up and play. And sometimes the other team doesn't have it, even though that superstar is playing to a high level. So,
I completely
go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. So I completely agree with everything you guys are saying. And so my argument isn't like against like those things exist, because they're completely valid. It's just that because obviously winning bias is a thing and we all know it. But I'm saying that I think it's not a bad thing, because winning is the point of the sport. And so obviously there's other factors that go into actually winning, but you still have to actually, get there. And so that's how we're able to like determine who's where and how good they are. Because obviously your skills goes to effect, but because basketball, you can control so much of it. Like, yes, there's other factors, but you can control so much of it. There are carry jobs. Carry jobs happen all the time. Obviously, they might not win like by themselves. I don't think there's maybe like, trying to think if it's actually happened, but
can't win by yourself.
You can, but I'm saying you can control so much by yourself. That's why you actually winning is like put more on like the one person. Even though yes, it takes a collective with a great coach and good role players and everyone around them. But the fact that you control so much of it, that's why I take that more into account than actually like football players, because it's such a huge more people who contribute to what's actually happening.
Did you listen to anything I said?
Of course I listened to what you said.
So what I said was that's you literally just prove what I said was because basketball, there's more responsibility compared to other sports. I said that's why they have this winning bias tag. I'm saying even though that is true, it's still a wrong mindset to have, because that person's skill set and talent is probably 15 to 20% worth of them winning compared to all the other layers. And if we're really going to negate guys as players, if I said 15 to 20, if we're negating players for 15 to 20 for being 15 to 20% responsible for winning, that's fucking stupid. When do we do that? When do we penalize people? When do we penalize people for being 15 or 20% responsible for something? When do we do that? Give me an example. Give me an example. When do we penalize people for being responsible for 20% of something?
I'm not going to give you an example because I agree with your 15 to 20%. I guess this Tim. I don't want to get into like LeBron debate. All right, so let's take So you could either pick like LeBron 2018 or like AI that year. Those are hard carry jobs. I'm gonna say that was more than 15-20% of them pushing that team to reach where they went.
You think AI was more than 20%? Why?
Not AI.
But I guess he had a great defensive team around him, but still.
that
I feel
only
like
made the finals because of their defense. But
I'll ask why. We'll ask why again. Why do you think Iverson?
I was
20%?
thinking of two examples. I was just thinking of two examples off the top of my
But
head.
why though? But
I didn't,
why?
huh?
But why? Though? Why do you
This
think
is a
Iverson?
trap, by the way. This is the low special.
Yeah,
He'll
I
take
know,
1 point and blow it up.
No,
and
but
then
you
say,
know what?
But that's why
Asking
I'm just
It's
balling off my head.
it's
I'm
fine. You
thinking
don't.
of
It
people.
doesn't matter
Like,
about AI.
doesn't matter what he's saying.
We're talking generally, and you're bringing up a couple of
Yeah.
examples where it's more.
Yeah.
Generally,
I get that.
why is it more than 20%?
I'm saying, so what? There's 5 people on a there's 10 people on the court, 5 on each team. So you're saying that one star player is what 20%? Only 20%? No, because a star player is much better than a few
if you
of those
assumed
others.
every player was equal,
I'm not taking
10 players on a court.
very
That would be
They're
10.
not. They're not.
No, that's why. Let me get.
No, but I'm saying on a
You
team.
if-
I'm not talking about both sides because on one team there's
Well,
5
you playing
5
against
people on the court
someone,
at a
so
time.
that would also matter. You're playing
Yeah,
against
I
other
guess,
people,
but-
so they would have to factor into the equation. Then you got
Yeah, but I think-
coaching, then you have refereeing, then you
and then you get into
Yeah,
a
then you have
whole
injuries.
bunch of just.
Then you have matchups depending on the playoffs, whereas Jokic didn't have to go up against the Golden State Warriors this year because they lost to the Lakers, whereas Golden State probably would have been a tougher matchup for them based on the outside shooting. So maybe they would have lost to them, but the Lakers had a better matchup for Golden State, so that's why Denver didn't have to see Golden State. So are Denver really that good, or did they just have a favorable matchup? Who knows? We'll never know, because in the NBA playoffs, you don't have to play against every single team. It doesn't. You can play against a bunch of teams that are just favorable matchups for you, win a championship because you avoid every other team that is better suited to beat you. If Giannis manages to avoid the Miami Heat every year, maybe he gets to the finals more often, but he can't because Miami is a bad matchup for his Bucks. If he never had to play them, maybe he'd make it to the finals more. Maybe you'd say he has a bigger impact on winning. That's why I can't give it just to one player, because every postseason is matchup dependent. Because if you're ever in a postseason where you don't have to play every single team participating, you don't know who the best team is because you're not having to play everyone. You can just you play 4 series when there's 15 other teams in the postseason. That doesn't prove that you're the best team.
So Mars, tell me why Bill Russell's your GOAT again.
He has 11 rings and 5 MVPs.
I fucking hate this.
Bro, do you think who do you have ranked higher all time, Harden or D Wade?
D Wade.
Who to you has a better skill set, Harden or D Wade?
D Wade.
Get the fuck out of here.
I think you guys sleep on Dwayne Wade's skill set. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, everybody
I would
does.
say
very
Harden's
much
a better
so.
scorer and a better playmaker. But besides that, I don't think he beats D Wade in any other category.
And I think D Wade is a grossly underrated playmaker.
But is he a better playmaker than Harden?
No, he's not. No, I think
you're sleeping on the fact that D Wade might be a better scorer than James Harden.
I think I'm gonna say I think the scoring is way closer than y'all think. Of course, like he's a better like 3-point shooter and mid free throw score as well. But the slashing, the finishing, ball handling, the ability just in defensively, the intensity on ball. I think Wade is. I think both are really good on mid range shooting though.
It's hard for me to go look past Harden's, man.
Hey,
regular season scoring, I think James Harden's better.
I don't know. They're both free throw merchants. Like look at that one ring. He just got what, like 40 free throws in 2 games.
Yeah, it's because he had the heart to go to the paint, unlike James Harden, who wants to sit here and shoot threes.
Oh man,
bro! Oh my god!
Give James Harden Shaq. Give James Harden Shaq.
Yeah.
Also, I think y'all are grossly underrating Wade's first step because Jesus, like go back.
Wade's crazy athlete. Crazy athlete.
Hey fellas, I'm gonna rotate.
Not so much.
I'm gonna rotate the guests, man. But appreciate you guys, bro. Y'all be easy. All right, salute.
Love PC.
Peace. Love you.
I don't understand why the winning bias conversation is so hard to grasp, but I guess
because if you didn't win, you're not impactful.
It's because it's disrupting norms, bro. That's why people don't want to change. So we have
no, Dub. It's because people can't understand the concept of impacting winning without winning. If you didn't win, you didn't impact winning. That's like they can't grasp that. You can still be impactful, but still lose to another.
But I think they understand. But that's the thing. No, honestly, they understand it. I think everybody understands the sport. The thing is if you're gonna,
are you sure?
No, because
during the whole season I was being asked where Steph Curry's impact was because Golden State couldn't win on the roads.
That was ticket. Okay, stop.
And Draymond Green.
Stop. That was ticket.
That's
okay?
people.
Okay, but listen. The thing is like even ticket, like He knows when you actually talk about him, he'll say this all the time. I'm not talking about like his actual game. I said, but as a player, like, because it's the criterias in which they built their opinions off, and it's just they choose to neglect all these other factors in order to honor that criteria.
But I understand. I'm not arguing with you.
So it's not. I'm saying Mars. I'm saying. So let me finish this real quick. So I'm not saying like Mars. It's not that they don't know or understand it. They do understand it. They are ignoring it because. And then Lo, you could say what you was about to say because
because you already know what I'm about to say. The criteria that they built it off of was them not watching the game, bro. I'm sorry to just tell people this, but that's the reality. They built that criteria off of their inability to actually watch the game. And that's why I said it's stupidity, because we in today's world do not suffer for the same type of inabilities and restrictions to accessibility of these games for us to still have that same criteria. It is dumb of you. It makes sense back then because like the only way I can judge a player is based off of what the newspaper says or what is the headline is or what ESPN is telling me, because I can't watch Dominique Wilkins. I can't watch Karl Malone. I can't watch David Robinson, Mitch Richmond, Hal Greer. I can't watch these players. Now you can watch them. So you making this argument that, oh, well, his style of play doesn't translate to wins because he hasn't won. That's just dumb. That's just already, especially in knowing that he's not on the team that's qualified enough to win. That's dumb. That's just dumb.
That's why I prefer to actually, if you pay, like, even people who do this winning thing and they talk, if you give them the comparison between two players who never won, they perfectly understand the context of behind why they never won. And then they start talking about their games. Like, well, this guy was better at this. And the reason he didn't win is because he had all of this to go against. But the moment you compare that player who never won to someone who did win, oh, well, he never won. So, like, you just went from talking about him valid to then just went, oh, well, he never won, so he wasn't that impactful. Like, how did that happen?
So that's why I said they
talk to people about. I would rather just talk to anyone like that about two players who never won, because at least then you're having some.
So that's why I told you they understand it. They understand it wholeheartedly. Their criteria is just so flawed because it's just that state of mind thinking that you need to win in order to be put on a certain level, which is just not true. It's just not. But shout out to, I don't even know how to say this, Spencer. Appreciate you. And shout out to you again. When is Gridiron finally supporting y'all after about a year and some change? Sorry for the wait. I appreciate you, brother. We're actually going to be live tomorrow night. We had to change up the schedule a bit. Huncho, Dub and Mars, get Gerald back on the show to cook low. And KG San sent a glizzy ×5. What do they say for hot dogs? Hot dogs are very good. So there we go.
Okay, buddy.
We're doing it. Hot dogs are very good. Yum, yum.
It's not we. You're
doing it.
Finally, man. What's good,
hey,
yo?
I want to chime in on what y'all was saying earlier, yo. You to be the main people that use that logic and they go be LeBron James. You can apply the same logic to LeBron James. He has an impact on winning when I always winning. When he takes those shitty teams, regardless of how shitty the East is, when he leads them to an NBA Finals appearance and they win, prime example, we can go to 2018. Everybody like he's in 2018. If you use the 2018 LeBron and you apply his impact on winning and him facing the Golden State Warriors of that team, I don't understand how you can apply that logic there, but you can't apply it to any other player that's not winning the championship. To me,
because usually when you're that
he
great,
lost. Like, why are we even praising him for that? He
win.
lost. What are we talking about? He's an impact winning.
Yeah,
KD's bell. What are we talking about?
Well,
KD's
I don't
bell.
understand.
Yeah.
2018 is empty.
What
stats,
I don't understand about
facts. He just got to the finals to lose. Like, who cares?
Fuck
bro,
that.
Like, I don't. How do you have LeBron James as your GOAT and you can't realize you can impact winning without winning? Like, I don't understand that.
You got his MVP should just be the best player in the world every year.
I don't understand that. Like, he just went to what, 9 straight finals? How is that not impacting winning? He didn't win championships.
I thought Mars was going to bring that up, but
because he's
going in a different direction. But
can I say this? Because usually when you're an all-time great top 10 player, they usually win. It's not just because they win; it's because they're all-time great and they're really good. Usually those players win.
Yeah, because normally those players get a team built around them that gives them the opportunity to win.
That's the other thing. Let me just say this real quick. Most all-time great players get the opportunity to be on really good teams. Like KG and Dominique, like those are like anomalies. But like for the most part, Most all-time great players get the opportunity. Well, I want to say all-time. I'm talking about like top 50 to 75 all-time.
Okay.
Ice cream so good. Gang, 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 gang.
No.
Jesus.
You can't do that. It's only me. It's only me
come
today.
on, man. Dog, this is what you started,
Go ahead,
bro.
love.
But yeah, most of them are on teams that are more than good enough. So like when we are assessing them, we get to assess them through that lens in a proper manner. And so, for example, Dame is a perfect example of, as of right now, you could very well argue a lot of things that many people are determining on who Dame is as a player might be through a lens that may be slightly unfair because he's never really been on a team that really and truly could have competed. However, if he goes to Miami and he's now on a sound team and he still struggles to win, then he's the same player. He's the same player. It's just that those defensive inabilities that we've been talking about already, then we know for a fact that, yeah, that's just who he is as a player. That had nothing to do with Portland. That's who he is as a player. If he goes and he gets coached by a better coach and he's on a better supporting cast and he still struggles in the postseason and create separation and shot creating, et cetera, things that he's always been dealing with, or he's missing opportunities in terms of passing, that had nothing to do with Portland. That is just who he was as a player. So, like, we still get to assess these players through the lens of, like, quality teams. And for the most part, we still get accurate representation of who these players are. That's the reason why KG, as great as a defender he was in his peak, the reason why as soon as he got on a really good defensive unit with better supporting cast, it wasn't just that they were the number one defensive team in 08 and up until 09 until he got hurt. They were historically one of the greatest defensive units. That even when you put solid defenders on a team like that, even they wouldn't elevate to that level. So that's how we can also make proper assessments when they're getting on better teams. But I just don't understand the lack
That's
of
crazy. Oh my
God, that's crazy.
Thank you, Lo. I almost thought you spit a 16 with that one. That was crazy.
Bill Russell.
Man, shout out Pat Riley, man, best coach of all time, man.
Pat Riley, the best coach of all time.
He is. Yes.
What was he doing without super teams?
Yeah,
you said what?
What was Pat Riley doing without super teams?
He went to the finals with two separate franchises, won NBA titles.
You don't get praised for going to the finals and then losing.
Mara, stop being a troll, bro. Come on.
Well, so he coaches the Knicks and doesn't win, and he gets praised for that.
Also compared to like the two other guys who usually is in this conversation, he's shown he can win with multiple different styles, whether it was a fast pace or it was grit and grind. And you can't say the same about Phil Jackson or Pop.
You can say that about Phil.
Pat Riley wins with a Lakers super team, then gets D-Wade and Shaq and wins. But when he was with the Knicks, can't win.
He went to the finals.
I don't know.
I don't think Ewing played bad. Ewing played bad.
What does that mean?
Played bad.
Hey, make your play.
Yeah, like he's shown he can win with more than like the same amount of
There's
talent,
no way.
like, the same.
He's trolling.
He is trolling.
And they should have lost to the Bulls without Michael Jordan. But it's whatever. We move.
Come on, man.
I love Pat Riley though. Very underrated.
Yeah,
underrated coach.
Pat Riley's not even a top 5 coach.
The best coach, man.
That's kind of crazy.
Oh, you're capable for him to be the best?
That's what he just said. He said the greatest.
That's ridiculous.
He's the best. I would take him. I would take him.
Ridiculous. It's not ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
I would take
Popovich. I think is a better
Phil.
Bill Russell was a player coach.
Anyway, Mars. Who's the top 5 coaches?
Mid coach.
Mars. Who's the top 5 coaches then?
Bill Russell.
Okay.
Here we go, bro. Come on, bro.
See the grin, like he just takes.
No, let him say it.
Checkmate, man. Checkmate.
Bill Russell.
Probably
gonna put Greg Popovich up there.
Okay. Probably. It's crazy.
You got
Red Auerbach. We got Red Auerbach.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I fucking hate this.
We'll get Phil Jackson in there.
Okay.
You gotta get Pat Riley in there, bro.
And then 5.
Now you're gonna start pushing him, man.
I was about to say something wild, but
let's show some love to Chuck Daly. Chuck Daly number 5.
No, man.
Nah, I'm sorry. Pat Riley's better than Chuck Daly. I'm not gonna lie.
Chuck Daly won 2 rings without a super team.
Chuck Daly's also a very underrated name.
That's cute, man, but I'll pass. Look, man, I got a question for y'all.
Chuck Daly
As becoming a better basketball, as becoming a better basketball player, not legacy wise, but just being a
Trolls
better
don't hit
basketball
the same
player.
anymore, man.
Who benefited more from the triangle, Shaq or Michael?
Ooh.
You said what?
Shaq.
Like who benefited as a
Did
basketball player?
Shaq have?
The triangle's
Not legacy
designed for the
wise,
big
but
man.
who benefited more from the
Did
triangle?
Shaq have
or
a bag?
Michael?
Did Shaq have a bag?
Shaq.
You don't have
Shaq.
to have a bag to have a triangle offense.
Shaq.
Like it's
Shaq.
designed. I don't think it
From
is.
a
And see, you're just
passing.
you're just a casual, dude.
Shaq's playmaking.
Yeah.
Before the
that,
triangle got
wasn't
implemented.
that. Yeah, Shaq from a passing and playmaking standpoint benefited immensely from that.
Yeah, with Del Harris, I mean,
yeah, I'm about to go to
What was he
Icebox. Huh?
You said what?
That was like so random.
Yeah, you said Icebox. Hold on, wait. Before y'all go, this guy Ross was saying something here I want to clarify for everyone. My only critique is that the surrounding cast have an impact and can enhance / take away from every player's production, performance, and outcome of the game. That is facts. Melo, not as good, but he also never had a championship cast around him. How much do we quantify the impact of the surrounding players / coach on how good a player is? That's a phenomenal question. I love that he said that.
Go ahead, Mars. Go ahead, go.
Who we talk about? Because if we talk about Giannis or
Melo.
Shaq, they will never be as good as people with real bags. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Melo.
Are we talking about Melo? Oh, he the top five.
Top five what?
Yeah. Mars and Low answer. Mars and Low answer.
Yeah, Mars.
Players all time.
Okay, buddy. Melo, I think. Do I think it's possible that if you put the right cast around him, he maybe could have won as the best guy? Probably not, to be honest.
I'm about to say still no.
Yeah, when you have a guy like Melo, who like you're asking him to be a different player, he'd have to be a better passer and decision maker. Because the way his value,
it's about a bucket, nigga. Hold on, it's about a bucket though.
Stop! I don't know what you're doing. I don't know.
No, I'm cooked. I got nothing to say. I'm cooked.
There's only so many times. Though.
I'm cooked.
Are you got Mars? Are you gonna say?
Dub, I'm cooked.
Would you like to say something or no?
It's either you're good or you're not, nigga.
All right, I got.
Anyways,
thank goodness. Shout out. I can answer what he's saying. Like, sure, but again, what he did as a player in terms of Melo does not necessarily have to translate to a championship, right? Like we can just assess it as from an individual player standpoint. We can assess it as like how he makes reads from a passing and playmaker, how he's scoring defensively. Because like agreed that your teammates will aid you in those processes, but there is a certain extent of who you are as a player that you should still be able to establish those things regardless of who is around you. And there are just too many things that Melo, from a player standpoint, regardless of who was around him, just doesn't
Can I ask the question?
excel in a certain way. What's up?
If Melo go to Detroit
I was just about to ask that shit.
versus, would Melo be the best player on that team?
When they won, probably not, but later on in his career, sure. Because when they won, it would probably be Ben Wallace.
Yeah, that's
would have won in 2005.
Not Chauncey Billups.
I don't know. I don't think it was
Let's
the best
continue.
player.
I said yesterday. I think Chauncey was the fourth best player on that team.
Yeah, let's continue this conversation.
The Finals MVP is crazy. Being the fourth best.
So y'all don't think that? I just want to make this clear.
Not
Y'all
really.
don't think that
Not
Carmelo
really,
Anthony can be the best player in the championship team?
Well, no, I've had that opinion for a very long
If the way that you have to build, and it's the same thing I think y'all did one time with Iverson, if the type of team you have to build around somebody is like this all-time team just for you to like respectfully believe that they can win, then I mean that kind of speaks volumes. So sure, on a team that has a defensive unit of all-time status, sure, he probably could be. But again, like I said before, when they won in 2004, he would not have been the best player on that team. That would have been Ben Wallace.
So okay, I can't even really disagree.
I don't know about that.
I can't disagree with that.
You think 04 Melo would have been better than Ben Wallace?
Most people think Ben Wallace wasn't the best player on that team.
No, he's not better. Ricky Carmelo Anthony is not better than Ben Wallace.
I don't think Ben Wallace was the best player on the team.
See,
who was the best player?
I don't think it was a spread out all around, because I could say Rasheed Wallace was the best player on that team.
I don't
Rick
think Rasheed Wallace
Hamilton.
was the best player.
Man,
regardless of who will be the best, Melo would not be the best player on the team.
I feel like the impact
Who
Ben
gonna
Wallace
score more
brings.
than Melo?
It's not all about scoring, though.
It's
I
not
feel like
about
Ben
scoring.
Wallace's defense alone is enough impact to prove that he's the best player on that team. You know what I'm saying? He's the defensive anchor. His impact, you can have just like there's such thing as offensive impact.
You got to put the ball in the
And I
basket.
understand that.
Ben Wallace is
To
the
win
Bill
the
Russell of the
game.
2000s, right, Mars?
This is so bothersome when you say you got to put the ball in the basket, but you're acknowledging how good that team was, even though they excelled defensively. You acknowledge that they
Rip
won.
Hamilton could he could score. They have scores.
But that's not the reason why you put him on that team. You put him on that team because of their defense. That's why you put him on that team.
Right.
Ben Wallace.
So
you Bill Russell of the 2000s.
If the game was about scoring, you'd put Melo with 4 other scorers.
Exactly. So why was he more successful with
I
other
never
scorers
said
around
the
him?
game is just, but you have to score to win.
You're saying Melo would be the best player on the team because he scores.
This goes back to that whole offense is over defense conversation because like
individually, sure, but we're
talking about a team. We're not as a team.
And also when you have a transcendent defender and there's no transcendent offensive player, I mean the defensive player is probably still better.
He's still better.
Man, no.
That's what I'm saying.
Man. We're talking about a rookie Carmelo. I just want
This
is not Denver Nuggets Carmelo.
We're talking about rookie Carmelo versus a prime peak transcendent all-time top 10 defender ever.
Y'all keep praising role players.
That's not
bro.
what I said.
Oh, yeah,
no way.
I'm cooked.
I said if you put him on the Pistons, LeBron might not beat that Pistons team.
Huh?
Anyways, man.
Shout out Mark West.
Put Melo on
you talking about 07? Oh wait.
Yeah.
Okay, but all right, let's say they go on to the finals, they would lose to the Spurs though.
I don't know.
They're definitely losing to the Spurs.
No.
They are losing to the Spurs.
What?
They are losing to the Spurs, though.
They're losing to the Spurs.
No, because guys, listen.
07 Pistons.
The 07.
Calm down, man.
No, the 07 Pistons.
That's when they had Chris Webber. Chris Webber was bad. I gotta say that.
Ben Wallace was in Chicago.
Yeah.
Splash of Melo.
All right, but if we're doing this, if Melo is on that team, is Ben Wallace leaving the crew? I mean, we gotta.
Actually, he would because they don't have the money to pay him anymore because they're paying Melo.
Oh fuck!
They're not. He on the rookie contract.
No, listen. No, he wouldn't. By the time we get to 07, he would have gotten his extension.
Yeah.
So let's be clear.
He on the rookie contract.
The reason why y'all think he's winning isn't because of what Melo's doing. It's because of the defense that you need to have alongside him. That's why.
Yeah, but okay, all right, I understand that. If Melo averaging 25, 28 a game, who getting that Finals MVP?
Who getting the Finals MVP?
The argument isn't about he's not getting it. Period. If Ben Wallace not on there because he's not winning.
Oh, that ain't what we talking about. If Ben Wallace on there playing this transcendent defense, and Carmelo averaged 28 points a night, 48% shooting. Who winning the Finals MVP?
Well, they gave Iggy a Finals MVP.
I was just about to say that.
I don't know. We don't know.
Question.
The Finals MVP.
What year are we referring to right now? Actually,
I don't know. 5 or 7. I have no idea.
Carmelo's not winning on the Pistons at all.
So if they replace Melo with Rip Hamilton on that unit, so that's Rashid.
What year? You guys say the year.
07.
Man, we gotta stop
on
it,
07.
This is a nasty
Melo,
narrative, man.
Melo's gonna be giving you 20-25 easy in his
That's cute.
So you're saying it's Chauncey, Tayshaun. I want people to realize he had Tayshaun on the team for defensive purposes, just FYI. And then Rashid and Webber.
Yeah. So listen,
still not winning, bro.
No, because this is
not winning.
This is why maybe, right? They went to 6 with Cleveland, and if Melo was there,
they beat Cleveland.
They beat Cleveland. And then if they beat Cleveland, right?
I'm fine with that.
Let's all take a take a trip
Just
down memory
relax.
lane.
Here it go.
If
Just
LeBron
relax.
James played to himself, I mean, that
We're
series
not
between
beating
the Spurs.
07 Spurs.
Wait. Let me finish, man. That series would have bare minimum went to 6 because they could have won the games at home. So if that's if LeBron plays to himself.
Are they
so if
winning
Melo's
the
playing,
series?
wait, let me finish. If Melo's playing to himself, right? Melo's playing to himself.
Melo could shoot.
And Cleveland Cavaliers, if LeBron played to himself, they went to 6 games. Pistons being better than Cavs, they probably get it done.
Here's the other problem that many people tend to forget. The problem is that the Cavs actually had 2 bodies, way bigger bodies, in both Ilgauskas.
No, don't talk basketball now. Don't talk basketball now. I was hoping he wasn't going to say it. I was hoping he wasn't going to say it too. I was hoping you weren't going to say it, but
they actually had 2 big bodies in Ilgauskas and Virgil that was not only rim protecting, but also that was basically double teaming Tim Duncan every single play, especially in the second half of that series, the last two games of that series. And Duncan scoring production plummeted because that started to happening. The first 2 games, Duncan was averaging like 23, 24 points, and he was shooting well. They were winning by double digits in those 2 games, and they made the adjustment, and they started doubling Duncan with quality bigs on the.
Who was cooking?
And TP was cooking. That's fine. What I'm saying is you can't do that. You can't do that
against Detroit.
You can't do that. No. Listen what I'm saying. You can't double Tim Duncan effectively with Chris Webber. That's what I'm saying.
And he was cooked.
But you see, they only scored 85 points in game 1. I think that team with Melo scoring more than 85. Not going to hold you.
You got Detroit holding them to less than 85.
Well, Tim Duncan had a good game there, right? So everyone else is still limiting. So they could do that. They could let Tim Duncan eat and limit everyone else and let the scoring of Carmelo.
What makes you think Melo's not struggling in that series?
Yeah, why do you
because he didn't have the deficiencies like LeBron James did.
Yeah, he didn't have the shooting deficiencies, but the passing deficiencies, I mean...
That's why you got Chauncey.
But if Melo has the ball to score, he has the ball in his hands.
He could do a pass out real quick if that happens.
This is Carmelo Anthony.
No way.
Well, this is just hypotheticals, right? So
I think he struggles against that team as well. I just think
I agree.
I think he do better than LeBron at that time.
I do feel like he do better than LeBron.
I think he does better than LeBron. I think, but
Melo over LeBron confirmed.
I think they still lose in like 4 or 5 games.
I don't even.
What's 20? Mars, what's 23 divided by 4? That's 6. Well, like 5 point something.
Yeah, I'm about to say that doesn't divide evenly, Doug.
What Melo?
Oh yeah, Melo ain't. You think Melo gonna replicate 5 turnovers, man? Come on.
No, I'm not saying he's gonna be.
He could actually.
He might do more.
He could actually.
It's gonna be about 3.5.
And plus, it's not like the heliocentric type basketball.
Oh,
so you have Chauncey, you have Ross, you have Sheed, you have Melo there. They could feed. Hey.
Actually, I do think TP might have still been cooking because Chauncey at that time wasn't the same defender that he once was either.
He was never a great defender.
But what perimeter guy did they have on Cleveland?
We had James.
Respect Sasha Pavlovic.
Man, we ain't have nobody.
It was a tough time. It was a tough time.
No. All I'm saying is I don't think you said let Duncan eat and stop everybody else. I actually think TP would have been fine. I think TP would have been fine in that series. I think
he would have did what he did to them.
I mean, no,
he wouldn't have to.
I saw Manu do to Tayshaun Prince in 05.
Oh, Manu was cooking that series.
He wouldn't have to do the same things because again, Tim Duncan would be performing better because it's Chris Webber defending him.
That's true.
Damn, Tony Parker was 56 and 57. Jesus Christ!
You think
he shot 4 for 7 from 3? Yeah, it wasn't just. It wasn't.
Yeah, Dub.
It's just 4 for 7. It's just 4 for 7 from 3. Dub.
That killed me, bro.
It's not. It wasn't just Big Z defending him. They were still.
Niggas think it was that high.
But it wasn't. It wasn't just Big
like
Z
7
defending him.
17.
Yeah, exactly. He's guarding somebody who's 7.
Can't jump.
He didn't have to. He's 7'3".
Yeah.
Man,
and then help was being sent. help was being sent from Verajao and what's the
I
other
just
name?
seen. I felt like Popovich put the game plan on TP.
Good wasn't bad.
Donnell Marshall, that's what it was. They were sending help from like multiple
Donnell.
defenders at that time.
Listen to the people you naming right now.
No way you brought up Donnell like that.
Donnell
he didn't play a lot. He didn't play a lot. He did not play a lot.
Marshall, man.
Oh, y'all, okay.
And remember, Anderson Varejao made all defense in Cleveland. Remember that.
Hey,
So
Anderson Varejao.
that's the caliber of defender we have.
Underrated defender, yo.
Exactly, all defense and like.
I'm not saying he's underrated.
He was like a hustle player.
I'm saying Tim Duncan is not being held by 18 points when his initial defender is Chris Webber. He's just not. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, Dub, look at the chat.
No 7.
Hey.
He's cooking you with the chat. He's saying you're cooked.
Today, I wasn't. You know, so in chat, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna see if he's gonna show up. So he's here. After the stream, I might hop on. I'll hop on stream and we'll start looking at.
Let me get him in the room.
Let's get Pyro up here to cook low for the last.
You had to watch Shaq. Shaq was.
We ain't watching footage.
He can take my spot. I gotta do.
Hello, you can't let that nigga fry.
Bro, you be safe, bro.
Right, salute.
Yeah, the same Tim Duncan that was like averaging like 25, 27 against the against Amari Stoudemire. He's putting crazy numbers up against.
Amari Stoudemire was giving him 60.
Amari is not.
And Chris Webber not giving nobody 60 at that stage in 07.
Like, Amari's not a good defender at all.
Yeah, Chris Webber at that point was not a good defender either.
He was worse.
Yeah, but their team was better defensively than the Suns.
As a unit, yes. But if I'm talking about from an individual, like initial defender standpoint, like like Duncan would have had his way
That's
easier.
cool. Duncan had his way, and then they locked the perimeter up.
No, I don't think they're locking up the perimeter, but I got it. I love. Also, I want to be clear what Dub did. I would just establish it again. Dub specifically decided to disregard positions and keep Tayshaun on the team to further show the proof that the reason why we still think they're winning is because of the defense. Not because
everybody on the team.
Bro, Lo, you gotta let Dub slide with that, bro.
I'm gonna rotate the guests though, bro. Y'all be easy.
Wait. I want to say one more name, man.
I just got here.
Man, shout out Mark West, man. Shut down Shaq in 1996, man. Look it up, man. Shout out Mark West.
Do you think they win if you move Tayshaun Prince for Melo?
What are you talking, bro? That's not the question I gave you.
But I'm asking you now one. Do you think that they'll win if you move Tayshaun Prince for Melo?
In 07?
Yes.
Well, if I consider the fact he's more on a defensive-minded unit, so he's going to give more effort out there, and how I seen him with some effort to him in like 09 with some Melo's defense, maybe they won't need him.
Are you talking about him defending Kobe for a few possessions?
Yep. Get more of that consistently because he's on Detroit, maybe.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yo, what's going on?
Did you like that answer, Lo?
You basically still said no. So
hello, people.
We agree.
How you guys doing today?
What's good?
I have a question about playmaking.
Doing great, man.
Tyson has the winning bias king.
Mars, you
cook y'all.
What's up?
Mars, I'm better than you at
Capping.
Okay, buddy, you're capping right now. That's crazy, but it's cool.
Y'all up here chatting, talking about winning don't matter and all this other bullshit. Winning matters.
That's why Bill Russell's the GOAT.
Ooh, breathing all in the mic.
I don't know.
I don't know how you can have Bill Russell as the GOAT, but anyway.
He won 11. Winning matters.
Tyson.
I didn't say winning was the only thing that matters.
I
but
never said it was the only thing that matters either.
But to sit up here to act like all this winning
defense matters too, though. Defense matters too.
Jim Crow hoops.
Defense does matter. Offense matters too.
Wait, so Tyson, winning isn't the only thing that matters. But when the other people in the GOAT conversation, you have nearly double as many rings as them, that has to hold some weight, right?
Sure, it holds some weight.
Okay, when you're the best defensive player to ever exist.
But you apply your logic, though. Apply your logic, Mars.
Oh, see what I mean? You're just hating on.
No, you apply your logic. Apply your logic. The reason why Bill Russell's defense was so influential at that time. Merely the fact that they didn't have a 3-point shot and everybody was trying to get into the paint and score points.
No way.
That's facts. Quit saying no way. Low being nasty. That's a fact.
No, you're being nasty right now.
I'm not being nasty. That's a fact. You think
if
Bill Russell
has 20 years of longevity is because he's in an age where medicine is more advanced. Do I take away his longevity?
Right. Cook up.
We're talking about basketball. We're talking about basketball. Stop it. We talking basketball.
That's basketball.
We talking basketball. He talking medicine. What are we doing?
He said longevity, right?
That's basketball.
in the 60s.
You're cooked.
No, I'm not cooked. No, I'm not cooked. Bringing up medicine in the basketball conversation does not mean you're cooking, Mars. Stop it.
Gets drafted in 1959. How long does he last?
15 years.
But here you go with the hypotheticals. What are we talking about?
I didn't
bring up no hypothetical. I gave a reason why his defense was so influential. I didn't bring up a hypothetical, Mars. Mars, did I bring up a hypothetical?
Your reason sucked.
Well, how do we know?
Did I bring up a hypothetical? Yes or no?
How do we know that Bill Russell's defense wouldn't be
How do you know
impacted
it wouldn't be the same about the 3-point line?
What?
How do you know that he
wouldn't
be
defend the
impacted?
same impact with the 3-point line? How do you know he wouldn't?
Because it's common sense. Y'all bringing up a hypothetical. Y'all bringing up a hypothetical. I'm bringing up common sense.
He was very mobile as a big, so he definitely could have switched on the perimeter.
But he didn't have to. But he didn't have to is the fact.
Prove it.
But he didn't have to is the fact.
Prove it.
What do you want me to prove, Mars?
Prove that Bill Russell
Mars is talking.
That's what makes it Mars. That's what makes it a hypothetical. It can't be proven.
So he's a hypothetical. So you were speaking in hypothetical.
What? I didn't say that he wouldn't be impactful in today's era.
No, what he
did I say? Did that ever come out of my mouth? Did that ever come out of my mouth, Mars? Did that ever come out of my mouth, Mars?
You said the only reason Bill Russell is the best defender ever is because he defended the era with no 3-point line.
That's not what I said.
The best defender ever.
That's not what I said. I said the reason why his defense was so impactful. I never said the only reason why he was a good defender. So you put in words in my mouth. So you could, motherfucker. Hold on, Mark. God damn it.
Prove it wouldn't be without the 3-point line.
I didn't ask. That's not my claim.
I'm asking you. Prove it wouldn't be that impactful with the 3-point line. Prove it.
Nobody can prove that's a hypothetical.
Why did you say it? You're cooked.
I did not say that. I didn't say it would.
That's not
what JJ.
Did I ever say that the defense wouldn't be impactful right now? Did I ever say that? Did anybody say that?
He didn't say that.
Yeah, Mars up here playing, bro. You up here trolling. If you don't want to have a real conversation, just say so, Mars.
That's not a troll. That's not a troll. He's right.
If you don't want to have a real conversation, just say so, my bro. That we good. We good. We can sit up here and play games.
His defense wouldn't be influential without.
That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Tyson,
that's what you were saying.
If there was basically what you were implying is you said if there's a 3-point line, his defense would not be as impactful as it was without. That's what you were basically implying. So don't try to sit there and cap.
Yeah, now you're like, well, technically, I didn't say he wouldn't be as impactful. But when you say the reason he's that impactful is because there was no 3-point line, let's all use our critical thinking. Put our thinking caps on, guys. What would that mean? If there was a 3-point line, he wouldn't be that impactful. Which means you have to prove that he wouldn't be that impactful.
Put him in a pot, man.
Okay, so you saying under that premise.
Can we move on?
No, I want him to prove it.
You move on, KB. You able to leave, brother? You can go ahead and move on.
Why are you talking to me with Sass?
When you want,
no.
Sorry, bro.
Y'all ain't even let me talk, bro. Go ahead.
Let Mars. They start pressing the next nigga. Why don't you press the nigga that's pressing you, nigga?
No, because you said something. You don't want to pressing each other.
Tyson, you a punk, nigga. You a punk.
Personally, not me.
All right, I'm not even going to respond to that. I don't do the internet fake beef, bro. You good?
There we go.
When you pull up and call me a punk to my face, we can handle that, bro.
We don't need your beef.
What you say?
No. Just be the mature one in the room, brother. Come on.
No one cares. Tyson, prove that Bill Russell wouldn't be as impactful without the 3-point line.
All I'm saying, Mars, if you go into all these great defensive players without other great defensive pieces, just like a KG, they still was getting cooked defensively. So if you saying Bill Russell was that much more impactful than the KG, then I'll agree with you. But if you just have one defensive player that's so impactful, they can guard everybody on the court. Until then, I'm not going to agree with you, bro.
You notice how Tyson's moved the goalposts from other defensive pieces it was from the 3-point line. He said Bill Russell was that impactful.
That's what I'm saying. Because of the 3-point line, KG can't guard a multitude of players that are trying to attack the paint. Now, if they were, maybe KG would be impactful as a Bill Russell. But since he can't, nobody can guard everybody on the court. With the spacing that's allowed today because of the 3-point line and players taking more outside shots, there's no way one player can be that impactful on the defensive end. Period.
How many outside shots are being taken in 1981? How many outside shots were being taken?
What?
How many outside shots were being taken when the 3-point line got implemented? Tell me.
I don't know. You tell me.
You're bringing up the 3-point line as if it changes the way the teams were defending. But you can't even tell
I'm bringing up the 3-point line. The only reason I'm bringing up the 3-point line is because teams are focused on the 3-point line more because there's more shots out there. So there,
when 1980, Tyson.
What's that?
The 3-point line got added in 1980. You are saying Bill Russell wasn't as impactful wouldn't be as impactful
in 1980. Okay, we can argue that point. But you said today. Now you saying 1980. You said today. Now you saying 1980. Which one is it?
How many 3-pointers?
You said today. Now you saying 1980. Are you moving the goalpost now?
No, you said with the 3-point line, he wouldn't be as impactful. Your whole argument is predicated on today.
And then you said, how can I prove that he won't be impactful today? Then I said, let's look at players like Kevin Durant. Let's look at players like great defenders of today. They can't impact the whole team. They can't impact the whole defense to the level of they could back in those days. That's all I was saying.
I said with the 3-point line. I never said the word today. Not one time. You can go.
I believe you said today.
Not one time did I say prove that Bill Russell.
No, I believe you said today.
I didn't. Anyone can go.
Okay, go ahead.
I said prove that Bill Russell wouldn't be as impactful.
Okay, when the 3-point line, was newly are you gonna let me answer?
I wasn't finished asking my question. So
you did. You asked it 5 times.
No, I wasn't. Prove that.
All right, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
When in 1981, teams were taking 2 threes a game. Prove that Bill Russell wouldn't be as impactful with a 3-point line.
Okay, now you want to break it down to 1 year when the 3-point line was just implemented and teams and players weren't taking advantage of it. You being okay, bro.
1989, 1990. Prove it.
Okay, so did those 3 points start to go up as those as later years went on?
Let's do it. We'll go year by year. Let's see how much it goes up. We'll do this. So 1980, 2.8 a game. So nasty, 2.8 a game for the
team. He's trying to change the whole argument, though. He's trying to change the whole argument. Go ahead.
You're trying so hard to say you're not using a hypothetical when you are. So 1980, 2.8 threes a game, 28% for the league. 1981, 2 threes a game, 24.5%. 1982, we are at 2.3.
So if you want to say,
I'm not finished. 2.3, 26.2%. 1984, 2.3, 23.8%. 1984, 2.4, 25%. 1985, 3.1. We got past 3. Well done, 28.2%. 1986, 3.3, 28.2. 1987, 4.7, 30%. Look at us, we're progressing. 1988, 5, 31.6.
That's my point.
1989, 6.6, 32.3.
My point.
Just got to a point where we're taking 1 3 a quarter. We've only just got to that point. Then we're at 90, 6.6, 33%. 1991.
So what did I say that was wrong?
7.1, 32%. 1992, 7.6, 33%. 1993.
Okay, so over the years it progressed,
9,
right?
32%.
All right, Mars, go ahead, bro. You strong man my argument talking about the 80s, whatever. If you want to say that he would have been just as impactful in the 80s, and then he wouldn't in his day, that's fine. I agree with you.
About it because it's a hypothetical. I want you to say it was a hypothetical. Say it.
I'm not saying it's a hypothetical. Because we said that we proved.
Russell played with a 3-point line.
If you're gonna ask questions and not let me answer, bro, then you can have a conversation by yourself, Mars.
Okay, did Bill Russell play with a 3-point line? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, so would saying he wouldn't be as impactful with the 3-point line be a hypothetical or proven?
What's that?
If you say someone who never played with a 3-point line wouldn't be as impactful with a 3-point line, is that a hypothetical or a fact?
Well, you taking my argument and you trying to
This
be
is why I keep talking, because you don't answer questions.
No. What's that? Are you gonna let me answer or no, bro? You gonna keep cutting me off?
You have two options and you're going around. Is it a hypothetical or a fact that he wouldn't?
Like I said, you took. Can I answer, or are you gonna keep?
You're not going to answer, so I'm going to ask again after you do this. But go ahead.
Okay, fine. You taking what I said and turning it to a specific thing of this 3-point shot in the 80s, and you pointing to specific errors and whatever have you. All I'm saying was, but in that time, that the offense was predicating on scoring the ball inside more than taking outside shots, which it was in the 80s too. And you made a fair point, and I concede that. I'm not sitting up here trying to just stand on my argument and not concede that you made a valid point. Yes, you made a valid point of the 80s and even maybe the early 90s. But in modern times, what I was more thinking about is how the floor is more spread. One player can't impact the defense to that, and that's just a fact. One player, one great defender, whether it be perimeter or interior, can't change the defense the way Bill Russell did in those years. That was my simple point. Now, if you want to say, well, the way I worded it made it sound like a hypothetical, I'm fine with that, bro. I'm not sitting up here trying to, you know what I'm saying, trying to cook you or get all, you know what I'm saying? You trying to bring up all these other points. All I'm saying was, and yeah, fine. If the way I worded it was a hypothetical, I was just pointing to the fact of the reason why Bill Russell as a defender could be so impactful in that day. If you want to say he could be impactful in today's game the same way, then you go ahead and make that claim.
Okay, because Tyson clearly doesn't know what a hypothetical is. So I'm going to tell everyone, a hypothetical is something that is imagined.
I know what I agree with you.
Clearly you don't. So a hypothetical is something that is imagined or suggested, but not necessarily real or true. Something that is imagined or suggested.
He's standing on this point. I already conceded this, bro. You can keep talking.
Something being a hypothetical would be something that never actually happened. Bill Russell never played with a 3-point line. So giving your opinion on how impactful he would be with a 3-point line is a hypothetical.
I'm giving an analysis of how the game was played in that era. Take away the 3-point line. Take away the 3-point line. The game is more spread out nowadays because of jump shooters and jump shots. Take away the 3-point line if you want.
That's great.
But go ahead, bro.
Does Bill Russell play today?
No, he doesn't. No. If you want to say that, then just say that. Why did you go into all this long soliloquy, my boy?
Imagining how Bill Russell would look in today's game would be what, Tyson?
That's a hypothetical.
Okay, so once again,
I'm giving an analysis of how the game was played back then.
It doesn't matter that it's an analysis.
Oh, they will say that. Just say he was great for his era. Just say he was great for his era, and you fine with that argument.
Do you know how this whole conversation started?
I blame you, Doug.
It started because I said, based on your hypothetical of Bill Russell's impact, that LeBron James, without the advantages of modern medicine, wouldn't have the same longevity. You said that was a hypothetical. I wholeheartedly agree it's a hypothetical because it is not founded in reality. Because in order to prove it and give analysis, I would have to still imagine circumstances. You did the same thing.
I gave an analysis. I gave an analysis of why Bill Russell. You can take out today. I don't care about today. I'm giving an analysis of why Bill Russell's defense was so impactful back then. That's it.
Why it wouldn't be as impactful with a 3-point line, which is a
I'm deducing that, and then I went to a hypothetical as how the game is played today, and I'm saying Bill. But the simple fact still remains that the reason why Bill Russell was so impactful in that era. Period.
It's not a fact.
Why do you think your analysis is like the end all be all though? I don't get that.
Tyson,
I didn't say it was the end all be all. If you have a counterpoint, then
why are you
Tyson, all you have to do is say it's a hypothetical. That's all you have to do. Because I have no problem with hypotheticals. I use them all the time. You said I was using a hypothetical.
Again, Mars. Take out today's game. My point still stands. That the reason why I think Bill Russell's impact on defense, why one player can make such a difference in the game. defensively.
You already said it, right? I think, not I know.
Yeah,
I
Tyson
think.
doesn't know what happened.
No, it's not a hypothetical.
All you're doing is giving evidence to
Stupid.
support
Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping.
No,
Y'all
you
tripping.
literally said I think. You're not saying I know.
Gabe.
But it's not a hypothetical. I'm giving you a reason. What?
Gabe, in the chat. The reason why it matters why it's a hypothetical is because Tyson said that
No. Y'all misinterpreted what I'm saying. A hypothetical would it's not. Hold on, Mars. Real quick, please. A hypothetical would be saying yes that Bill Russell wouldn't be impactful today. A hypothetical, and I mean me giving an analysis of why he was so impactful in his day is not a hypothetical. It's me just saying why I think he was so impactful. That's not a hypothetical. It's an opinion. It's an opinion, but not a hypothetical.
What did you use for your
when
analysis?
When you say the words, Bill Russell was only that impactful because there was no 3-point line. That is implying that he wouldn't be as impactful with a 3-point line, which is then, surprise, a hypothetical.
What?
Now we don't need to discuss
if you want me to change my wording, his defense was so impactful because the floor wasn't spread the way the floor wasn't as spread.
You used the hypothetical, Tyson.
I mean, okay. The reason why it was so impactful because
Russell because we haven't seen him in even with this 3-point era. The fact you had to bring up Kevin Garnett cooked your entire argument.
How is it? No, I'm saying that. Bro, I'm explaining why. I'm bringing up Kevin Durant to explain how one player, Kevin Garnett, by one player can affect the defense the way it can back in those days. That was my whole point. That's not a hypothetical. It's a fact that Kevin Garnett played in this era and couldn't impact the defense the way that Bill Russell did in those days. And we all say that Kevin Garnett is a transitional defensive player. Agreed?
Yeah, but Kevin Garnett is a transcendent defender. But if Kevin Garnett is not
if you want to say it's opinion, that's fine.
Yeah, which makes it a hypothetical.
Opinions and hypotheticals are two different things. Opinions and hypotheticals are two different things. Am I correct?
Your hypothetical is
you're basing your opinion off of hypothetical, bro. That's a part that you.
I'm not basing my opinion off of hypothetical.
Lord, come on.
Okay, we can move on, bro. We can move on. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping right now.
Everyone in the world knows you use the hypothetical except you.
Right.
I already said that, bro. I said that.
Why is no one on your side?
Did I concede that? The way I worded it, it was a hypothetical. Didn't I concede that? Didn't I concede that already?
It just was. No one's on your side for a reason. Usually, if there's one guy who's wrong and everyone's right, the guy who's wrong is usually wrong. It is what it is most of the time.
Well, you hijacked the whole argument with this hypothetical thing, but y'all got it.
Look, you're the one who brought it up, so I just cooked you on it.
If you want to say you cooked on me saying was a hypothetical or not, you the champ, Mars. Good job.
I know.
Ran from a body guy.
That whole shit was wild.
Are you still here? Lo, are you still here?
Lo gave up.
There's no way. Tyson is cooked. He said Bill Russell's defense is only as impactful as it was because everyone was attacking the basket because there isn't a 3-point line applying. A 3-point line makes him less impactful.
And that is a hypothetical.
Oh, man. Man.
What did he say? I ain't even catch that last part.
He cooks you. That's all it is. He cooks you.
I don't know where to go from here.
Cut that out, man.
we have 15 minutes to go. We can just dwell on the fact that I just cooked Tyson for.
No, we gonna talk about something else, man.
We can talk about that.
That was wild.
You guys see that?
Good hijacking the argument, Morris. Good hijack.
I didn't hijack anything. You said I used the hypothetical when you used the hypothetical.
I want to go back. I do want to go back to the main argument about Bill Russell being the GOAT. I don't know how we got into the hypothetical bag.
Tyson started that hypothetical, man.
Why is he why is the GOAT? Why is he the GOAT again?
11 rings, 5 MVPs. The finals MVP is named.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with the troll, bro. I'm done with the troll.
No, because the reason this conversation started, Tyson came in saying.
I'm talking about your
Tyson came in saying winning matters. That was the first
Mars on some bullshit today, bro.
Then Tyson said, well, winning isn't the only thing that matters. And then I said, well, Tyson, I agree it might not be the only thing that matters. But when the other people in the conversation have nearly half as many rings as Bill Russell does, that has to mean something, right? Then he said yes. And then he said there's other things that go into it also. And I said,
The crazy
when
part
Bill
about
Russell
it,
is also the best defender.
Mars says the same things that I just said. Mars says the same things that I just said. Gives this but he wanted to try to hijack the argument on some hypothetical shit. But he says when he gives an analysis of Bill Russell, he says the same shit. But go ahead, Mars, do you?
Y'all let it go, man.
Tyson,
Let that go.
Tyson, you're so obsessed with
My
trying
God.
to get back at me, but you don't know that I openly use hypotheticals all the time.
That's fine, bro. I don't care about the hypothetical thing. Why are you dwelling on? Why are you dwelling on that, bro? Why are you dwelling on the hypothetical shit instead of my argument?
Because you brought up the hypothetical.
That's fine. Okay, you win the hypothetical, Mars. We said that. You got it, bro. Why are you still bringing it up?
Looking bad.
Because you're the one
You wanted to cook that bad, bro? I already said that you got the hypothetical shit.
Like I was saying,
All right, bro.
You said winning isn't the only thing that matters, but I said when someone has nearly twice as many rings as the other people in the conversation, that has to mean something, right? You said yes, but there's also other things. Then I said, well, when Bill Russell was the best defender to ever exist, that has to also mean something, right? And then you went and said, well, Bill Russell's only as impactful because of the 3-point line, and that's where we got onto the tangent. So I'm gonna ask the question again, and hopefully we won't go on a tangent. Being the best defender to ever exist would also mean something, right? In the GOAT conversation, Tyson, would it not?
Thumbs up, bro.
Okay, so he has nearly double as many rings as everyone else in the conversation. He's the best ever on one side of the ball. So the reason he's not the GOAT is because his offense isn't good enough. I just want to understand.
Yes, in my opinion.
Yes, and that he won those titles in a way older era. Basketball has improved, man.
Oh, okay. So air attacks. That's perfectly fine. I understand.
Absolutely. So he cannot.
And I have no problem with that. The people who air attacks, you don't have to have Bill Russell as the GOAT. But the people who claim to respect all eras and say that I hate the older generations, you are not allowed to tell me that Bill Russell's not the GOAT because of his competition. Because you told me that the era is irrelevant and you need to respect every generation.
Obviously, he didn't have the competition that there is today in order to have that many titles. So people today are not going to end up with 11 rings. So that doesn't discredit them or discount them from the argument because they're not going to finish with 11 rings. Period.
That's why I said the 11 rings isn't the only argument. Being the best defender ever is also part of the argument.
That's a good argument. I mean, that's a good. You have an argument for him, but he is. I mean, he's just not the GOAT.
Okay, I'll put it this way.
You have to. You have
the people who are normally in the conversation.
The only one where his mic is like this.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I can hear it. Like,
Let's be honest. The only people that most people have in the conversation is MJ, LeBron, and Kareem. Is LeBron the best offensive or defensive player ever to anyone up?
No.
Okay. No. Is Michael Jordan the best offensive or defensive player ever?
For some people may say offense, but
I
they
wouldn't
mean
say
score.
offense.
Maybe.
So someone up here says he's the best offensive player ever. And is Kareem the best offensive or defensive player ever?
No.
No.
Okay, so the only person who can say they're the best on one side of the ball is Michael Jordan and Bill Russell. They're the only people who can say that. Michael Jordan is obviously a better defender than Bill Russell is an offensive player. That's perfectly fine. Now let's look at the accolade route. They both
Hold
have
on.
five.
Can I ask a question before you go, Mars? Can I ask a question before you go?
Go ahead, ask a question.
Mars is
are there levels to it when it comes to offense and defense? So, like, if you want to put Bill Russell's defense at a 10, are you gonna where would you put Michael Jordan's defense? Does that matter?
Yeah, like I said, I was gonna get into that like right after this.
My fault. Go ahead.
But yeah, if you want to make the argument that the gaps and stuff like Michael Jordan's offense is equal to Bill Russell's defense because they're both the best ever, and then Michael Jordan's defense is better than Bill Russell's offense, I agree with. I 1000% agree with that. That's why I think Michael Jordan has a horse in this race. But then you would have to discount the accolades at a rate that I think most people don't do. Because for me, in order to discount that huge gap between Bill Russell's offense and Michael Jordan's defense, you're having to look at Bill Russell's accolades and say they don't make up that gap. The 5 extra rings, to most people who value the accolades the way they do, should make up for the gap between Bill Russell's offense and Michael Jordan's defense. It should make up that gap realistically. Unless they air attacks, which most people try and say they don't do, that should make up that gap. But it doesn't. And the reason is because they don't respect Bill Russell's era. And I don't care that they don't respect Bill Russell's era. I care that they try and act as if they do, but they aren't consistent with his ranking all time. It doesn't even need to be Bill Russell and Michael Jordan. Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. Bill Russell has achieved so much more than Wilt Chamberlain. They care about the accolades. They care about all that stuff. They played in the same era, but then they'll tell me Wilt Chamberlain is higher all time. It's because they don't respect the accolades as much as they say they do. They pick and choose when it matters. That's my issue of the Bill Russell GOAT conversation. I don't actually believe he's the GOAT because I don't care about the accolades. But the people who do, they use any little reason they can find to not
It's
put
not
him in
any
the
little
conversation
reason though.
because they don't like him. That is it. They don't like the fact that a below average offensive player achieved so much because they don't understand how it was possible. That's why. That's my issue with the whole Bill
But
Russell.
we do. But when you try to provide context to it, you want to go on this hypothetical thing. And then everybody else in the top 5 is great. Everybody else in the top 5 is great on offense and defense. No, they're not the best ever at either one of them, but they're great at both. And Bill Russell just not in that category.
Pretty sure, Tyson, you had Magic Johnson in your top 5, but that's neither here nor there. If you didn't,
I don't have Magic Johnson in my top 5.
I'm pretty sure you did. If you don't, I apologize. Like I said.
Yeah, I don't. He's at the bottom. He's at the bottom of the top 10. A through 10.
I respect that. That's perfectly fine. My issue is people will tell me why player A is over player B. They'll bring up a bunch of accolades. Then when I bring up Bill Russell, they say, well, it's more than accolades. It's the fact he wasn't a great offensive player. Then I'll talk about the fact that guys like Magic Johnson, who they'll have above Bill Russell, wasn't a good defensive player. Guys like Steph Curry, who they have above Bill Russell, isn't a great defensive player. I'll bring those stuff up, and then they'll start talking about how the era isn't as good, but then they'll tell me why Wilt Chamberlain is a top 10 player. It's the inconsistencies that I argue against. And the reason why I argue against it so much and say Bill Russell's the GOAT is to point out the flaws and inconsistencies in people's logic. Because the only reason they care about Bill Russell so much is because he's not a great offensive player. But when someone's not a great defensive player, they're still willing to put them in that conversation. Ask most old heads if they have Magic Johnson top 5 or top 6. They'll say he's top 5 or top 6. A lot of the younger generation have Steph Curry in the top 10, and he's not a good defender, but they still have him there. And the reason is because they don't respect Bill Russell and his era. That's my issue.
Yeah, we could have did that debate. I don't have Magic Johnson top 5 or top 6, but we could have did that debate. But then you would, but you wanted to go on this hypothetical tangent. But anyway,
Tyson,
let it go, bro.
Let it go, bro.
Tyson, man, Tyson. Sometimes you gotta take the L.
I was just making a point. We could have had that debate. We could have had that debate.
You keep bringing it up, man.
Bill Russell's the GOAT.
I'm not.
Tyson, stop.
What? I wasn't saying shit. What the fuck are we doing?
No.
Wilt Chamberlain to go. That's the answer, man. If the answer is Bill Russell, then Wilt Chamberlain got to be the answer for the GOAT.
Nah, Wilt Chamberlain is not that good. 2 rings. Nah.
All right. That's that victim mentality. That's facts. From all sides. Rewatch Game 5 of the 2011 Finals. Is that game from Mars? Do that real quick. Read that for me real quick. I'm doing something.
Rewatched Game 5 of the 2021 Finals. It's the game that Giannis had 32, 9, and 6, Middleton 29, 7, and 5, and Drew had 27, 4, and 13. Is that the greatest Finals game by a trio?
Maybe.
No.
I can't think of anything else.
By a trio, maybe, because duos, there's like Shaq and Kobe, LeBron and Kyrie, and
trios though.
Magic, Kareem, Worthy. What the fuck?
What game?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You can't even.
I'm gonna have to look into it. I'm gonna have to look into it. But I'm pretty sure they have a game.
5, Giannis, Middleton, and Drew.
You know the problem is that as Worthy started to ascend, Kareem
was washed.
Yeah, I do.
Kareem was winning rings when he was washed. That's another reason why.
Well, I'm about to say I'm actually gonna rewatch. I'm starting probably even tonight. I'm gonna start rewatching the 2021 Finals. It's definitely one of the better finals. People tend to forget about it.
It was okay.
No, it's a great final.
I hated it.
I don't want to go back to it. I'll just tell Morris after we're done.
Morris is in a mood today, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm very angry today. I'm very irritable today.
Nigga need you a Snickers, nigga.
I have a Snickers.
You weren't even hungry, face ass.
Do we have anything to talk about for the next?
We got 10 people up here. Why do
hold on.
See, this is why I say no. This is why I say, Mars, don't ever fucking call me Lamar Odom, because the times where I don't feel like showing up, what happens is nothing but fucking dead silence, and I gotta say, call me Lamar
Lamar Odom brings the crack to the party and gets everyone hyped.
That was a good one.
No, we gotta address some of the lies you told about Shaq. We gotta address some of the lies you told about Shaq the other day.
The other day or today?
No, I missed some of the parts of today. I'm talking about the other day. So just to recollect correctly,
I think he said that Shaq was overrated because the main premise of that was a lot of time people use his spotters performances where he was going up against weak competition, such as Todd McCullough, Rick Scott, taking advantage of having big numbers against weak competition while he struggled against tough matchups. Am I right with that premise?
More or less.
More or less. Okay. So talking about those finals performances, right? 2000, he went against Indiana. He did go up against Rick Scott, but I feel like he also played a lot of Rick Scott and Dale Davis playing some against
Rick Smith.
Rick Smith. So in that series, Rick Smith, Dale Davis. You don't even know
so bad.
It
hasn't even been a minute. It hasn't even been a minute yet.
Stop it. All right. Rick Smith. Okay, so I'm talking in that particular series. All right, Rick Smith was guarding him. Dale Davis was also guarding him. Shaq saw double teams with those two, along with Mark Jackson coming down and trying to help him, sometimes triple team, trying to swipe the ball away from him. So that's the Indiana series, all right? Hold on. Then, against Philly, the Kenny Mutombo was not a weak defender. He was averaging about 33, 34 minutes a game, defensive player of the year candidate. Shaq was dominating him in a lot of 1v1 matchups. And against the New Jersey Nets, it was Kenyon Martin that was the primary defender.
Oh, my God.
Again, primary defender, who was a good defender. He's not some scrub. Right? He's not some scrub. So I think this idea, okay, and then in 04, hold on. And then in 04, he played Ben Wallace 1v1, and he was cooking Wallace, and they would have won that series if Kobe Bryant just didn't decide to be selfish. That's what another day. So Shaq in all these series, he played premier defenders at the 5, and when he was going up against these weak competitions like Todd McCullough and Rick Smith, Kenny Mutombo was a premier defender. Kenyon Martin was an above-average defender. Hold on.
Kenyon Martin premier defender.
These aren't scrubs. Shaq was not taking advantage of scrubs, especially because he was getting double or triple teams when the main guy was a Dale Davis or Rick Smith. So it's just a lie. He wasn't taking advantage of weak matchups. These guys were good defenders. Just at his peak, he was just too big and too strong for them to handle. I don't think that logic works.
Pause. The Kenyon Martin one is, boy,
that's a number 1 pick.
Do you know the Kenyon Martin was a plus defender?
I just don't think he's a plus defender for Shaq. He's like
not for Shaq.
That's most of the league. That's most of the league. So that's because of Shaq's greatness.
No, but I mean, like he's like 6'8", 6'9", like 220.
That's like saying that Bam Adebayo was a really good option to defend Jokic. Like it's just not. Like it's like I'm not saying that he's a bad defender, but like against it's just a matchup thing. Like I don't know what else to tell you. Also, like I've seen the 2000s matchup. Yes, they were sending doubles, but they were also positioned Shaq in a way where he would get the ball so quick that before the double would even come, he would still be able to score. But even if you are talking about doubles, still doesn't matter. All of the all-time great players are getting double. Hakeem was getting double several times. Jordan's getting doubled several times. Kobe, Curry, all of these all-time great offensive players are getting doubled several times. So I don't know what that's come with the nature of being one of the greatest offensive players. The point I'm making, though, and even Jokic this postseason. The point I'm making, though, is just the inconsistencies of if you're gonna penalize if you're penalizing Jokic for his comp, which is fine. I was. Before they even faced the Lakers, I made that statement. So I'm okay with that concept. All I'm saying is, why is that concept not believed or not used with Shaq, especially in contrast to someone like Hakeem, who Hakeem far away had way better comp to go up against en route to his deep postseason runs, the type of impact he had for most of his peak and throughout the 90s. That just doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I don't really tax Jokic for the matchups that he was.
Oh well, then this is just that's just an argument to those people. It's just an argument to those people.
I just thought you were diminishing Shaq and his abilities based on the no comp thing, and I think the whole thing with being doubled and triple teams as much as Shaq was, I think scoring effectively against a double team against two, let's say mediocre below average defenders is still harder than scoring against one elite defender. I just think the double team is that much more effective.
I agree, which is why the 2001 finals appearance is you're woefully like like Mutombo, if he can single cover the Mutombo, that's still not that, It's still not what you call it. But there, I mean, I'm watching Shaq right now, and they just position him in places to where he could score quick enough before the double team could even come, which is the benefit of having the triangle offense. But yeah, that's just for the people who diminish it.
Shaq for good coaching.
No, I'm the argument of like he getting doubled. He's not getting as doubled as he's making it out to be, which I knew that already. I just want to confirm it. It's just that
in Indiana.
Yeah, I'm watching it. He's not getting doubled as much as you're making it out to be. He's getting to his spots way before the defense come, and by the time he's going up for a shot, a guard may rotate over, but the guard is like standing right there. He's not really. I wouldn't say he's doubling him. The shot is already up by the time he gets there.
That's credit to Shaq for being able to attack quick.
I'm not denying it, but to call that an impactful double is crazy.
Well, it's not impactful because of how good Shaq is.
No, it's got you're talking about somebody 6'3" versus a 7'2" big. So
I watched Marcus Smart and Joel Embiid.
Facts.
Joel Embiid, that's the one problem with him. I know you're trolling right now, but that's
Defensive
one.
Player of the year, by the way.
Exactly, that's another defensive player of the year. Like Kembish.
No way you did that.
So did Jalen?
I just be cooking. Just so
I'm just saying. I don't think Shaq, like the idea that Shaq took advantage of terrible defenders and that's the truest.
Well, he did though. He did take advantage.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Now we're discrediting Shaq for the fact that there was no.
That's not discrediting. It's just the irrefutable truth that he did take advantage of weaker defenders. Like but
everyone's a weaker defender.
Yeah, that's fine. Compared to Shaq,
not Tim Duncan.
Other than Duncan, but like it's like, okay, well, yeah, he dominated. Dominated because there was no good matchup for him. But the reason there was no good matchup for him is because he was just better than him.
Exactly. I think
I want to be very.
Why is that just irrefutable?
No, wait. I want to be like. Todd McCullough, regardless, and Rick Smits, regardless of
Todd McCullough.
Stop. Regardless of who the center is. If it was Tim Duncan, Rick Smits and Todd McCullough would be a bad matchup for them. If it was Yao Ming,
a game in the finals, no?
Huh?
In Philly, Todd McCullough as a backup played 10 minutes a game in the finals?
That's Ray McCullough, whatever his name is.
That's Todd McCullough. Todd McCullough. In 2000, 2001. On the Sixers.
Jalen.
He played in the playoffs. What was his minutes per game?
Jalen.
Bro, let him get him some stop, bro.
Todd McCullough played for the Nets. He was a starting center for the Nets, not Philly.
Okay, no, Philly, 2000, 2001, he played at Philly, and in 2001, 2002, he played for the Nets.
Well, I'm talking about Todd McCullough for the Nets, Jalen.
The same player. It's the same player. He played in Philly in 2000, 2001.
I'm referring to what he did in New Jersey. I'm not referring to him coming off the bench.
I think his career was done after that season.
Yeah, it was done. I think his career he wrapped it up after that when he was like, "Yeah, I'm done." Shaq in the league. Yeah, let me go and wrap this up, man. Let me go and wrap this one up.
I wonder what he's doing now.
He only played like 4 or 5 years. Todd McCullough wasn't.
He probably still made like $5 million and just chilling in his career.
Yeah. I have a question though about Tim Duncan.
What's up?
What was this like? You do the same thing with Shaq in competition in the finals. Who was Tim Duncan's center matchup in the competition outside of 05 with Ben Wallace?
Kenyon Martin and the New Jersey.
Kenyon Martin. Hey.
And the Knicks with no Ewing and the Knicks with
no Ewing.
I want to be clear. This argument, I don't believe the argument. This is an argument. If you are going to argue against Jokic in the comp that he's facing, then that would be applicable to Shaq, especially in contrast to someone like Hakeem. That's all I'm saying.
So only if you use the argument against Jokic or other players.
If you're not using it, then
that's fine.
All right.
Cook fest, man. Everyone's just getting cooked left and right. Jesus Christ.
Right, bro. It's nasty.
But yeah, that is the time limit, Mars. Do you have anything else on your mind, or you're good?
And you just hijacked the whole thing because of Tyson, bro. That's crazy.
That was
I'm sorry, Tyson. Man. I'm sorry.
I'm not sorry, Tyson. I'm not sorry, Tyson. If Tyson knew what a hypothetical was, we wouldn't have gone on a.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, Tyson, man.
Salute, man. I don't take this shit personal.
I ain't got much to say.
I take it personal for you, man. This shit is ridiculous.
I appreciate everyone who came and watched the open court on my channel.
Not an open court. Good time.
We all know who your coach was.
So you can't even say nothing.
Dub was looking at his phone, bro. It was nasty, bro.
What do you mean I was looking at my phone?
If you were looking at your phone, it would have been nasty. It would have caught Mars. I was trying. It's too late now. It's too late now. I already sent the message, bro. Either way.
Ty is hilarious. I'm looking at my phone. I see it. Ty's crazy.
Oh,
man. All right, boys. Like
Mars,
the video, subscribe. Y'all be easy.
Mars sucks at Among Us, by the way.
LeBron James.
Oh, Lo, wait. Before we go, Lo, are you interested in playing PC Among Us?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But I mean, it took Mars to invite me, so I don't know, bro.
Nah, you always busy, bro. So that it just I never know what's up.
Hollywood Lo.
And I'm not gonna lie, I really started handing out invitations literally right now. So yeah.
When is it? That'd be hilarious.